Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining us. We are the Real Short Box Live Edition. It's live. I don't have any. I should have some lightning kind of music or something, or some rain in the background. I'll have to fix that. My name is Donald. Of course, beside me, Kevin. We have a couple of very special guests, so we're gonna do their intros here real shortly. I'm going to do some stuff in the background, and I'm going to hand it over to Kevin. So, Kevin, take it away.
Thank you, sir. Hello, everyone. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are in the 24 time zones on planet Earth. Welcome to the Real Short Box Live Edition on YouTube. First, let me introduce to you the executive producer and co-founder of Rumplespoon Productions and the Real Short Box. He is a man from the great state of Ohio. He is a man that's DC Comics for life. And if you have a problem with it, he'll pop you in the mouth. He was also the 2000 Kent State University's Mr. Beefcake. Ladies and gentlemen, this gentleman is someone the ladies love and men sometimes want to be like. He is the original Don.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you. I didn't realize I had all of those accolades, so it's appreciated for the reminder, Kevin. I've forgotten more than most of you simpletons will ever know.
Wow, that's an interesting way to address the audience as simpletons. These simpletons are the reason why we're a very strong podcast.
Oh, I thought we were being arrogant or something. The way you introduced me, that was pure arrogance.
No.
It's in heel mode over there.
I actually just got followed.
Uh-oh.
Hey, you remember Rick Martel's arrogance, John?
Yes.
And speaking of which, let me introduce one of our two special guests. He is a man also from the great Buckeye state of Ohio. He's a man who lives a life of righteousness. He is a man who is one of the great wrestling promoters of the Midwest. He is a master technician of the submission holds in the ring. Ladies and gentlemen, give a warm return welcome to the Ohio Wrecking Machine himself, and also a co-host of the YouTube show The Horror Guys. Ladies and gentlemen, John Catholic.
Dude, you're hired. Again, you're hired. Eloquent intro.
And last, but certainly not least, our other special guest, his first time on the Real Short Box live stream. He is a man that is also from the great state of Ohio. He is one of the great businessmen of the great Midwestern United States today. He is the Lord of hot sauces. He is half in name. He is full in flavor. Let us welcome one of our honorable sponsors of the Real Short Box. Give it up for Mr. Brian Hass.
Most of it was there.
And of course, I am your humble podcaster, the Grand Master of the Jedi and Vulcan Arts, your Supreme Chancellor, Dr. Kevin. Tonight, we are going into another round. Last week, if you viewed our episode, we did ranking 70s horror movies. Today, we're doing probably the most difficult decade of all. We're going to rank the decade of the 1980s. And God knows there are so many horror movies from that decade. There was a lot of tussling in the text messages. I actually personally had a confrontation with Donald yesterday about this top 25 list. I'm still upset about how the rankings went out. Movies that weren't listed are not listed. John, actually, if he had the ability, would probably fly out there and probably put him in a chokehold right now because certain movies are missing from the list. But it's all good. We're going to have fun. You're going to argue with us in the comment section. Tell us how you feel. Give us some of your favorite horror movies in the 1980s. And we're going to rock and roll. And last but not least, we're giving away a special prize giveaway towards the end of the show from Mr. Brian from Half's Hot Sauce.
Yes.
A special prize.
We're giving away something really cool.
Prize.
Yes, we figured slasher films, 1980s horror, what better time to give away a free bottle of Killer Pickle hot sauce.
I'm actually upping the ante. There's a sequel to this giveaway. One lucky winner will also get a 3/4 killer pack too, with a more cowbell in there as well.
Oh
So,
my God!
giving away a
You
4
gotta have that more cowbell, you know.
Very cool.
more free stuff.
You gotta have more cowbell. So stay tuned, guys. Everybody that's in here now, stay tuned. End of the podcast is when we're gonna do these raffles and giveaways here. So I'm excited to see who wins. Let's see if we have some people in the chats already. Let me read that. Pull that up. Oh, my mom and dad are here. Everybody say hello to my mom and dad.
Hello, Mama
and Dad.
Mama McKetty. Good evening to you.
Maria's here.
I love the support that your parents give you. That's so awesome, man.
Oh,
It's a beautiful thing.
Thank you.
It's a beautiful thing.
Yes, absolutely. Every week, unless there was something wrong with the iPad or whatever, and then they'd have thrown it across the room in a fit of anger. This won't work. Ah! Okay, so
Send them my way. I'll help them out.
there we go. So we got my mom and dad. Maria's on. Hi, Maria.
What's up, Maria?
And Maria says, "Holy moly, I once in on that." So she's a big hot sauce fan. So she does like the hot sauce a lot, actually. Enrique also here. So hey, Enrique, thank you for joining, sir.
We love Enrique.
Didn't Enrique
Great listener.
recently?
Happy belated birthday to you.
Yeah,
brother.
I was just gonna say, didn't he recently have a birthday? I think he did. Yeah. So happy belated, Enrique. I know we've already said it before, but we'll say it again. Freebird Anita. Oh, that's Anita. Anita. Hello, Anita. Anita was my first ever girlfriend, guys.
Really?
I think I was 4. And Maria agreed to date me since my parents knew each other.
So back in 1975, you had your first girlfriend at age 4. Very impressive, sir.
75. Okay, thanks for aging me, good sir. Thanks for aging me. Yeah.
I mean, I wasn't even born in 75 yet. Damn.
Me neither.
So just throwing Anita right under the bus, right out of the gate, She's like, what the hell? I didn't come here for this. I didn't come here for this. I'm so angry with you.
2 unsubscribes already. Holy.
Oh, well. Hey, Amy says good evening. Hi, Amy.
Hello, Amy. Good to see you. Thank you for joining us.
Uh-oh. Amy says that Enrique is getting birthday shots at their house tonight. So let me guess something, Amy.
Uh-oh.
A shot of Jameson. Wait, no. A shot of... Yeah, no, I'm right. A shot of Jameson. That sounds best. Sitting next to a shot of pickle juice. Am I also correct? I think that's what's going on. I think that's what's going down right now. Let me know, guys. Let me know. I'm a pretty good mind reader. Like, I can really sense things. And it just calls to me sometimes. So let me know if I'm right. Because if I am, we're going to start a new podcast where I just do psychic predictions. And it's...
Oh, like Miss Cleo back in the 90s.
It's going to get bad. Because I don't know what I'm doing.
See, and then the commercial just popped in my head. She said, "Call me now." You know, like that was the best. I love that, man. I remember seeing that so many times.
Oh, that was great. Especially for being from the New York area, we would get that all the time, like late at night, those commercials.
Same here. Yeah.
I'm posting that. Anita says he's a player. 4 years old. Yeah, that's true.
Oh, man.
No pickle.
So that's what you're doing.
Hmm?
So that's what you're doing in the sandbox.
Yeah, right. I know. Amy says no pickle juice tonight, and Enrique says it's called a pickleback. Which I don't like because it sounds too eerily similar to Nickelback, and I don't want to sully the good name of pickles.
I say one of them actually is created in good taste. You decide which one.
I thought you liked the band Nickelback.
No, and this is how you remind me? Oh shit, that was great. I'll be here all week. I've got the worst jokes imaginable.
Well, happy birthday, Enrique. I'm actually drinking a pickle beer in your honor, and I didn't even realize it.
Oh, nice.
And you look at that. Look at that. Do that from the great state of Ohio.
Yep, it's true. Okay, so let's get started, guys. This list isn't going to do itself, so we did a top 25 on this one. So number 25 through number 20, we're going to go through real fast, guys, because we've got a lot to get through.
Some good stuff there.
I know, seriously.
So, number 25 on our list. Let me pull that up here. It's going to take a moment because I have to find the right files, and they don't let you pull them up in advance. Okay.
Underrated movie.
There we go. I've got it. And the photo is right behind Kevin anyway. Okay.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
So I'm going to put this right here in this little block area that we have here available for us. Right down there. Look at that. Look at that. Right down there. Okay. Cool. We have Bill Pullman and what looks like the back of the head of Ernie Hudson.
That's not Ernie Hudson.
That's not Ernie Hudson. It's actually the late great actor Paul Winfield. He was like a very character actor, did a lot of movies. Matter of fact, he was
Ernie Hudson's father.
No. If you remember Star Trek II: The Wrath of Khan, he was in there. You might remember he was in Star Trek II: The Wrath of Khan.
Oh wait, he had that very particular style of talking.
Kind of, but I know you're thinking of Ricardo Montalban. But the other
No, I'm not thinking Ricardo Montalban. I'm
I
thinking
think
about that
he
guy.
kind of had a little bit of a, not so much of an accent like on 227. I remember he had he was like uppity. He was like one of those uppity type kids.
Yes.
Yeah. This is a really good underrated movie from Wes Craven from 1988, and it's basically about original zombies. Basically, your voodoo witch doctor that's controlling zombies. Someone's dead, you think they're dead, and they able to come back to life and put the fear of God into villagers. Really well done, well executed, and it is based on some reality, true, because the drug or concoction that he used to create the zombies actually does exist, and medicine or medical officials are actually still studying this particular product. It's called tetrodotoxin. And it's basically like a powerful anesthetic. It basically almost makes you like you're like a zombie, like you're dead, but you're not. But it's being in trial runs being used on cancer patients and many other patients who really need the medicine. So it's a very interesting topic that this movie touches upon. Of course, there are supernatural elements, obviously, involving.
Kevin's really selling this one.
It's
Lots of forwarding in science and in the cancer programs here across the United States, and we feel like this is valid when it comes to horror because why? I don't know. That's what I'm asking. What's going on, Kevin? What's going on? What's scary about this? Tell us the scary.
Fine, the voodoo aspects to it. The zombies, people waking from their graves, scaring you in the middle of the night, and also the fact that this witch doctor would get in Bill Pullman's character's dreams. Literally, he would get in his dreams and haunt the hell out of him, and he couldn't escape, no matter where he went. He was able to actually get inside his head. Freddy Krueger-like in a sense, but just from anywhere. Even when he's like, it's something you can do about it. Until he basically got rid of this guy, he was being haunted by him the entire time, from the beginning of the movie until the end of the movie.
Oh wow! So it's like American Werewolf in London, kind of.
Yeah, it's kind of like psychological terror, but also like straight up terror as well. So it's kind of Bill Pullman was almost driven insane in this movie. Dr. Dennis Allen, that's his name.
As the actor or in real life? I mean, like as the character?
Well, maybe in real life too, but certainly the actor in the movie. The character he's playing in the movie, Dr. Dennis Allen. He's nearly driven insane by everything that's happening around him, by this voodoo witch doctor.
Who's seen it? John, Brian, have you guys seen this movie?
I have.
I don't think I've sat through the whole thing. I know some of it, but not I don't think I've actually sat and watched the entire movie. Okay. I need to though.
Yeah, trust me, it's only like 95 minutes. You'll enjoy it. And guess who's in this movie too? It came out a year before the first Batman movie with Tim Burton. Michael Gough, who plays Alfred, is in this movie. He actually has a nice little role in the movie.
I knew that.
Yeah. Last time I watched this film, it was when you could still find a VCR to purchase. Probably before that by a good time period. So it's been a long time, but it was an amazing film, from what I remember.
By the way, thank you, Amy. She said it's a good movie. Thank you.
My mom says she's never seen that one. So there, Kevin.
It's really sad looking at the list of people that were in that film. How many of them are no longer with us? We're actually going to have a couple of those as we go through this list.
It's going to keep hitting, man. It's going to keep hitting.
Yeah, it's the 80s. So,
yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
The older ones were already older. So, Oops, I forgot the number next to it. So number 24 on the list.
Yes. This is what I love. This one, by the way. I just want to throw that out there.
How is that close to the end of the list? I don't get it.
Talk to the.
There is a scientific calculation. There are the four of us, and what happens is I say, Brian, make me your top 25. John, make me your top 25. Kevin, make me your top 25. I made a top 23 because I couldn't even figure out two more to put on the list. So I said, okay, then I'm just going to stop there. And then I take everybody's list and I say, okay, so this person mentioned this one, this one, this one, this one, this one, and this one. We can only talk about one, so we'll pick which of the trilogy and then talk about that one, but they all kind of roll in, so we can't have multiple of the same one. It just wouldn't be fair to the other movies that need to be highlighted. So that's where a lot of that died. The other scientific process part comes to where there is one ring to rule them all and in the darkness bind them. Therefore, there was another list. Not just the four of us. There's a fifth list out there that I get and I also combine. And this list is from an individual that knows horror like the back of their hands.
Okay.
It's cultivated, it's well thought out, and it makes sense. So that gets integrated in with our list, and then that puts some clear at the bottom that was in the middle, some at the top that was clear at the bottom, and yada yada, so forth and so forth. There's only one movie we had to cut for time out of the list that was tied with all the rest of these other ones, and if you guys don't remember which one it is, I don't either, because I don't remember.
Jeez.
I think it was.
I wanted to know too.
I think it was maybe like one of the zombie ones, like Day of the Dead or something like that, or not Day of the Dead. It was the other one, I think. I think there was another zombie one.
Yeah, you got two on there. There's Dawn and Return.
Return. I mean, you can kind of almost count Evil Dead in that aspect too, in a way.
Yep.
So
yep.
You got quite a few of them on there, you know.
Yep. Amy says, "Is that a picture of you when you were little, Donald?" No, Amy, that's close, but not quite. That actually is pretty close. It really is close. We're talking about number 24 on the list, Pet Sematary.
Devious. Very devious child.
Anita says, no, if it was Donald, he would have on plaid pants. Oh, shit, she's right. I used to wear plaid pants all the time. I had the strangest style when I was a kid. I had plaid pants, man. I was rocking them. That's true. Wow, I can't believe you remember that. Jesus. I'm getting old. Okay, so Pet Sematary. Why is it on the list? Who loves this movie?
I do. I'm not gonna lie. I do. Yeah.
Amazing film.
You are both the reason this is on the list. So please, both of you go together really quickly on this one.
First and foremost, Fred Gwynn. I mean, let's just talk about that for a minute. I mean, he's amazing. Obviously, Herman Munster. The guy's just, his voice is so distinctive that it just, the character of Jed Crandall just, to me, made the whole movie. Love his character. Zelda is creepy as hell. If I saw that, listen, I'm not going back in that room. I'm not taking her food. I'm not taking her water. I will acknowledge that she's there, but I'm never going to take care of her. Hell no, not going to happen.
Right.
And just the fact that, like, for me, the scene with Gage getting hit by the truck, holy hell, that was a scene, man. That was a hard one.
Mm-hmm.
That's a tough scene to see. But again, look who made it. Stephen King. His mind, just like Clive Barker's, is like out there. So obviously you expect that from his work.
Mm-hmm.
But for me, that's always like, I would say my top, honestly, probably like my top 5. That movie would be in my top 5. I absolutely love that one. Brian, what do you think, man?
I completely agree. The stuff with Zelda scared me, and like that shocked me to the bone almost as much as one of the other movies we're going to be looking at with a bathtub scene with an old rotting woman. Like that stuck with me. Being a parent, and even before I became a parent, the scene with Gage is just it sticks with you. It's so terrifying with what happened there. There's so many lines and occurrences in that film that just it just changed my life with how much it scared me, and I love that film so much.
I always wondered, like, the lesson learned here. Well, you thought the lesson would be learned here. You bury the cat, it comes back. Not the same. So, oh, hey, let me bury my son there too. He comes back. Not the same. We've learned our lesson. We had to put the cat down. We had to put our child down. Oh, but guess what? My wife's dead now. But she's only been dead for a few minutes. So he thinks, let's go bury her there too. No, we've not learned a lesson whatsoever. And then the nastiest part was he kissed her when she was all bubbly and brewing with blood and no eyeball. And like, yeah, dude, don't do that. If we learned a lesson here, let's not bury anyone in a Indian burial ground. Don't do that. Just don't do that.
That should be a lesson that was learned.
You would think.
You
Just
would.
like another movie that's high on this list as well. Same thing. Don't do that.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
It wouldn't be classic horror if they didn't do that. So
Yeah, that's true.
also true.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Along with
Everybody's like-
creepy demonic children.
Everybody always says that, like, why do they do stupid stuff like that? It was in the script, dude. That's all you can say. Like, it was in the script. That's what you got
they
to
were
do.
doing their job.
Mhm.
That's right. And you can't really talk about this movie without the Achilles tendon slit, which was disgusting too. That is disgusting too.
Let's see. Frank says, thanks for joining, Frank. He says Stephen King specifically wrote the character of Jed Crandall with Fred Gwynn in mind to play that character. Interesting.
Perfect person for it. Yeah.
Oh, my mom says that when Anita was 5, she told my mother that she was going to marry me.
Wow.
It was those plaid pants, wasn't it?
I think it was the plaid pants, yeah.
So not only were you Mr. Beefcake at the Kent State University, you're Mr. Beefcake in the sandbox. Wow.
I guess. But let's not say that as an intro ever, Kevin. That just does not.
Damn it, I thought that was next week, so I was excited.
Nope. No, we're not saying that. Yeah.
I can't say anything, man. I had a Jackson's 5 afro when I was a kid, so I can't say a damn thing about your plaid
there's nothing
pants.
wrong with the Jackson 5 afro.
No, dude,
No.
honestly, I did, man. I did. I will show you pictures. I will send you.
Oh
both
no,
a
that's
picture.
great. That's great. I'm proud of you.
It was,
I'm proud of you, sir.
It was huge. I'm just saying, they my parents did some things to me when I was a kid. Wow, just wow.
Hey, nothing wrong with rocking the afro back in the early years.
No, man,
Oh,
it was the thing.
It was
It
the
was
thing.
in, you know.
That's right.
Reza says when he was 5, he also wanted to marry me. So this is interesting.
It's like little mini Hugh Hefner over here. Come on.
All right, so we've got our number 23 on the list. It is Hellraiser. I believe, again, Kevin, I don't think you put this on your list, but I think Brian and John.
No, I did. I had
Did
my
you?
list.
Okay, so somebody
I think
did.
I don't think it made mine because I had to leave so much stuff
Okay,
out. I think it
there.
actually
All
did.
right, that's
Yeah.
it then. Yeah, just pulling up
mean,
the
it's a good
pictures.
movie.
So, Brian, Kevin, you guys posted it on your list, so let's hear why. What's so fun about this film, or scary, or why is it on your list?
This 1987 horror movie it's like beautiful, visceral horror. I mean, the effects in this movie was unbelievable. You're seeing like you see like those old when you're in school, you see like the different parts of the body and how it looks when you remove the skin and whatnot. You see like the skeletal system, the muscular system.
Mm-hmm.
Like they did just that in this movie. It looks so real. It's amazing. The makeup effects, unbelievable, and just the characterization, and of course that scary lament configuration box.
Yes.
That puzzle box. You're messing with it if you don't solve the puzzle the right way. It can mean absolute death, and you get sent to hell, and you're a slave to the Cenobites. And just look at these Cenobite creatures. They're horrific looking, at the same time very interesting looking.
Yeah, that's true.
No doubt, if I saw them in the middle of the night, I would scream, of course. But
Yep, I'm gone. We were at a show one.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, we were at a show one time in West Virginia, and in this random building that was like a haunted house on its own, right? We were walking upstairs just exploring the place, and there was an old mattress on the ground, and I wouldn't get close to it because I know what comes out of there because I've seen Hellraiser.
That's
I know
right.
better than that. I know the
That's
chains
right.
were coming, and I was like, I'm not even getting close to that thing. Nope.
Brian, your comments, sir.
I was an avid fan of Clive Barker growing up, reading once I was old enough to get into the weird and creepy and dirty stuff, somewhat dirty. But going from reading The Hellbound Heart to actually seeing it on screen, it was so close to what Clive Barker had written. Like it was amazing to see it come to life. And like you said, the effects for a movie in 1987 were mind-blowingly good. I have some PTSD from hammers whenever I use them now, from seeing that film. That sound was just nails on a chalkboard with that hammer connecting. The "Come to Daddy" line is just burned into my memory. Seeing the blood in the floorboards coming back to life was just so freaking good. Near and indescribable, but yeah, like it's so good. It makes me not be as angry at every other sequel of that film that sucked horribly.
Enrique said
part two was a good follow-up, though. After that...
Yeah, Hellbound was... Oh, God.
I've always been a fan of the first three, and then after that, they kind of went downhill.
Although the sixth one, when they brought back Christy Cotton, was pretty good, actually.
Real quick, Reza says, I met Clyde Barker years ago. He was very, very sassy and sweet. Anita says, Hellraiser is a classic. I'm worried the remake is going to suck.
It was actually really good. Yeah, it was actually really good.
Actually really good. There we go.
Yes.
Mom says, never saw Hellraiser. Mom, don't.
No, don't do that.
Reza says it was genuinely disturbing when it came out. And Street Slim, which is Eugenio, thanks for joining, sir. I know I didn't say that earlier, but when Duke cuts himself on the nail, he's like, big eyed emoji.
That was so realistic. And the blood is what brings, basically found his brother back.
And let me mention something about Eugenio real quickly. He is a fantastic blues man. He is excellent. I've seen him play. We've gone to see other musicians play before in the past, and he's always a great person to hang out with, and fantastic. He puts on a fantastic show. So if you get a chance, Eugenio, if you want to mention in the chat there how we can find you if you're on Instagram or something like that, please do. Let's see. Ward, director of the Multiverse, says, yo, what's up?
Hey, what's up?
Hey, what's going on with you? What is going on with you? We're talking about 80s horror. We're just wrapped up with Hellraiser. It's number 23 on our list. And now we are going to number 22 on our list, but it's not going to be what you expect.
No, I was actually surprised that this made the list. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, me too.
I'm surprised that it made the final list.
I've never actually seen it.
I only have 3 words for Kevin. You've seen it, right?
Long time ago.
Donald, you've seen it, right?
Yes.
So then you know Chocolate Chip Charlie. That's all I got to say. You already know the scene. You already know. That's the icing on the cake in that whole entire movie. Right? That scene is priceless.
This movie knew what it was doing. I mean, when it got made, it's very tongue-in-cheek, very fun. Basically... real quick. Okay, thanks. Street Slim says, at Street Slim, and currently playing with at Suitcase Stompers.
Oh, nice.
He says, watching and chilling. Ward, director of the Multiverse. Well, that's excellent. By the way, everybody that's in here right now, if you stay till the end, we are doing a giveaway. We're giving away Killer Pickle Hot Sauce, and Brian's got a nice set of hot sauces, which includes more cowbell hot sauce in there. So
I keep telling you, Don, stop telling people I have a nice set.
Yeah, I know, but it's the truth, and I feel like I need to be honest with people, The Stuff, never seen it. Is it good? Well, let's talk about The Stuff. John, what was your first impression of The Stuff upon actually witnessing it for yourself?
I love cheesy horror. I'm a glutton for punishment sometimes when it comes to cheesy horror movies. I can't help it.
Was it the case, like the actual case itself, the box with the horror that sold you on it?
Yeah, because I used to always say, man, in the 80s was the kind of thing where at the VCR tapes, they would just draw you in. The cover could be completely different from what you watch in the movie in most cases. But it was the cover that drew you in. And then you watch the movie, and if you think about it, it kind of does the whole thing with consumers, and they go out and they buy the hot new thing, and you have to try it. We do that today. We still do it today. Let's be honest. Something new comes out, boom, we got to try it just because. This happened to be, if you find something bubbled in the ground, you probably shouldn't eat it. And, that's exactly what they did. And then, of course, they mass marketed it. And it's starting to basically kind of turned you into a zombie, but not the zombie that you're used to.
Yeah.
Kind of like a shell of yourself type of thing. But the scene with Chocolate Chip Charlie, it's one of those things you just have to see it. It's hard to explain.
Can't get out of your head either.
No, it's a very hard to explain scene, except for if you've ever seen a man's mouth opened about that wide, except for Beetlejuice, of course. Picture Beetlejuice, the wide open mouth, and then this huge, big, white ball of fluff coming out of it at the same time.
Yes.
It sounds disgusting. It is disgusting. And go look it up on YouTube, because I think actually the whole movie is on YouTube. So if you want to watch it, that's where it's at. I thought it was fun. Again, I think it came out to be an alien substance, basically.
Mm-hmm.
That, here it is bubbling in the ground. It wasn't like, Jed Clampett didn't find the bubbling crude. This is some stuff you don't want to mess with, Again, a lesson learned in movie. Let's not eat things that come out of the ground. I don't know. I mean, I'm just saying, man.
Garrett Morris and Paul Sorvino.
Yeah, I sold seeing Garrett Morris. Like, as soon as I saw him in that, I got to watch it.
Yeah.
Garrett Morris.
It is available on Amazon Prime, YouTube, and Google Play Movies. And it was directed by one Larry Cohen, of all people.
Yes.
So, had a $1.7 million budget. Not bad.
No.
For a 1985 horror film, yeah.
They weren't bad. I mean, they really weren't. They were cheesy, of course, but that was the whole point of the movie.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
And as the tagline said in the commercial, can't get enough of the stuff.
Nope. And they really could not.
Can't get enough.
Get enough of the stuff.
Can't get enough of that stuff. I totally
Now
get.
The jingle is stuck in my head, just so you know.
All right, so that was number 22. So let's get rid of that one. We're going to go to number 21 on the list. But let me talk at the chat real quick. We got a few comments, so let's see what we have here. Let's see. Yes, Chocolate Chip Charlie. Enrique says this stuff is delicious. Scorch says, I never received the DVD that you were going to send me 2 months ago. Kevin.
I just said, oh my goodness.
Did you not send it?
I thought I did. You know what, Frank? I got you this week, brother. I got you this week.
Okay. Sorry, Frank. Mom says the mail is slow. Okay. Reza says the ending of the stuff, AJ McLean leads up and beats the stuff using the right stuff in a back street.
All those mentions. I got it.
That's really bad. We're all now dumber for that, Rez. Thank you. Eugenio says the stuff remake. Come on, Hollywood.
I mean, honestly, I would not be opposed to that. I wouldn't be. As long as we don't CGI it too much.
Yeah. They will on a lot of that, though. You got to be.
Sadly.
Yeah. Frank says the stuff had mind control elements that reminds me of Invaders from Mars from 1986.
That's true. It does kind of,
Oh, okay, Mom. I get it. Reza says you're welcome. Well, we did say thank you. I mean, really. I guess we did. You're right. Okay, so number 21, Day of the Dead.
One of my favorite characters, Bub.
Yes.
Love Bub.
He was kind of like that evolution of zombie almost into we talked about before, yeah.
Yeah, he was a friendly zombie too. He was trying to become human again. He was awesome. Love Bub.
Yeah, he's trying to shave in one part of that.
Yeah, he's shaving. And look about it. He understood. He's rocking to the 80s tunes on his Walkman.
Yep.
It's true.
Yep.
He was. That's how they communicated, was through the music. Totally.
Through the music.
Yeah. That's number 21. Any other comment, somebody?
That was Nicotero, and was it Savini working on the special effects on that one?
I believe so.
Yeah, Savini. I think pretty sure he was in it.
Yeah. Savini, I don't think he was in that one. I was getting that mixed up. He was in Dawn.
He was Dawn.
Yeah, he was the biker.
For some reason, I thought he got tore up, but I guess it was somebody else.
No, that was a different guy.
I mean, actually, he is in Day of the Dead, too. He is in there as well.
Is he?
Yeah, he plays a character in there as well.
Okay.
Yeah, but the guy on the ground where they're tearing his intestines out.
Oh, that's brutal.
It was so hyper-realistic.
Yeah.
Brutal.
I watched it.
A lot of it was like sausages they were eating, too, like the intestines.
Yeah.
I watched it for like 4 years ago for the first time, and it was still a lot. I was like, that scene, I was like...
Yeah, that one was up there with was it Zombie by Fulci?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yep.
man.
Signed by Fulci.
Yeah.
Especially with the slow, very slow
And
impalement.
they show you every bit of
Yep.
that, even that going
Yeah,
through the eye too, man.
Yep.
It was all made of gelatin. The way they did that, like it was, yeah.
Fulci really knows how to stretch out the visceral horror.
Mhm.
He just stretches it out.
And when he couldn't, he just has people fight sharks underwater.
Okay, this is going to make a lot of people mad. Number 20 on the list. Friday the 13th.
You know what though? It's on the list. I don't think it being low is a bad thing because it's still there. You're still talking about it. It still had an impact for the 80s, let's be honest. The 70s started the slasher genre, and Friday the 13th kind of picked up with it and ran with the ball a little bit. But the biggest question that you get when you ask somebody who was the killer in Friday the 13th, everybody says Jason.
That's why in Scream that girl got killed
right.
because she answered
That's right.
question wrong.
Very true. It
was the mother. It was the mother.
Right.
You've seen the movie, you know.
See, there's Jason down there at the bottom.
Nice.
Yep. Not even in that film. Well, no mask and little.
Yeah. I mean,
Well,
it
part
throws people
2.
every time.
I love him in part 2, actually. That's actually the one movie you actually could have taken on Jason one-on-one and survived like in a physical one-on-one contact. Like he wasn't superhuman yet in part 2. It was part 3 for some reason. That's where he starts becoming like the superhuman strength.
It was the mask.
Plus, he had a whole lot of hair too. He was wearing like that potato sack
over his head.
Potato sack.
Yeah. Dude, Sackhead overall Jason was actually pretty creepy looking. I'm not gonna lie.
That's true.
That version of Jason was damn creepy. Yes.
So, stupid question about that film. The cuts in that, like I haven't seen as many films as you guys have of that era, like early 80s, late 70s. Was that cut for some type of television showing, or was that standard for a lot of those films?
I know that they weren't allowed to show some of the gore. So, like normally when it's on TV, even when the first girl gets killed and they slice her throat, basically, it's a real quick and you can't see anything. But one of the funniest things about that was Betsy Palmer when she talks about that movie. She talks about how when Jason, when she gets her head cut off at the end and you see the fingers, she goes, "You can see hairy knuckles." She's like, "I don't have hairy knuckles."
Yes, right.
It was just a random dude that played that part instead of her. I think they said they brought her in for like a day or two. She did her parts, and that was it. So, like, when Jason's killing people throughout the movie, you can clearly see it's a man doing all the killing. And then you get this, like, sweet little old woman, and you're like, wait a minute. She's a badass, though. Like, I mean, she's tough, man.
Hey, you know what? I can understand her pain and suffering. Think about it.
Right.
You got 2 counselors in the middle of the act of erotic passion while her little boy is drowning, and then I give it a damn, and he dies. So you know what? She's like, you know what? I'm shutting this camp down.
The question
now,
is,
had she just waited just a little bit longer, she could have saw her son was still alive, and then we wouldn't have any more of these killings.
See, and that's what I was going to say. Like, all right, you had the ending that really wasn't there. They kind of made that happen at the end.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the question. Did Jason really survive the drowning, or was the ending just one of those things where you had to continue on after that? That's the big question here.
From my understanding, I think Paramount made them add that kind of ending, or they said, hey, you should do something, just to give it like a final scare.
I mean, it worked. It did work. It was the music. It was that.
There was no intention of a sequel when they originally wrote this?
No,
not
really.
So.
Not really. Like, Jason was just meant to just be kind of part of the plot device. But then I think at the end, I guess when they not screened it, but when they were looking at it in the final cut, like, you know what? Let's add like another final jump scare. Kind of like with Carrie. Like they were influenced by Carrie, the way that ended. So it's kind of similar like that.
Right, with the hand.
So yeah.
Okay.
So let's throw something in. I think they said, hey, let's throw that Jason boy in there. So they hired some kid to play a little boy Jason and just come out the lake and pull her in. And then, of course, when they went to part 2, they really didn't want to use Jason at all. But then someone came up with the idea, hey, let's just see that he's alive again and let's just make him into the killer, to avenge his mother. And ever since then, the rest is history.
Jason's like a sea monkey. He grew underwater, I don't know what happened there. He was a full-blown man. I mean, you know, what the hell?
He's like 6'5", 260 pounds of just...
Right. It's crazy, man.
And by the way, how did he lose his hair? He had to hold that hair in part 2, and all of a sudden part 3 is bald.
That's true. He's had a hell of a life, man. He's rough. That's all you can say.
Frank says, could the zombies in Day of the Dead run as fast as the zombies in Return of the Living Dead?
That's a good question.
I think the Return of the Living Dead zombies were quicker in that one. They moved a lot faster.
They were slow shamble in day.
Yeah, there was
But they were
something
just words that
ran
over.
and-
Let's see. Street Slim says Zombie 2, Zombie versus Shark.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Yes. Reza says all 80s zombies look like background dancers in Thriller.
That's true. They do.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
They do.
That's
And
legit.
Sammy says if that's the first one, there should be no hockey mask. Well, we talked about it, Sammy. We're representing all of a Friday the 13th.
The hockey mask was just an incidental thing in the third movie too, and after that, it just became the thing.
And Alexi popped in. He says, I agree about Friday the 13th. Thanks for joining, Alexi. It's been a bit. Haven't seen you in a while.
What's up, Alexi?
Reza says, I wish they would have followed through with the original story of Jason's mom for the sequels. My mom says, what about Saturday the 14th? That is true. That was a horror comedy that they made and called the illegitimate sequel to Friday the 13th. You've heard of Friday the 13th, but what about Saturday the 14th? This is the dumbest thing ever. But I remember it. Reza says,
Sequel to it too.
was there?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay, I'll have to seek that one out. Reza says the best scene of all of them is Jason Takes Manhattan, the rooftop boxing match.
Yeah.
Off his head.
You know what I said? He had no stamina. That was the problem. He had more stamina. He could have got him off the building.
Slim says keeping sleeping bag kill, although the boxing match was LOL. So he liked both of those.
Those are the two, I think, iconic kills in the movie. My all-time favorite, I'm sorry, I'm partial to part 5, with the demon in the outhouse singing to his girlfriend, and then he gets killed. There you go. It was the damn enchiladas. That's all I'm going to say. If you know, you know.
Chris Duque popped in. Hello, Chris. Thanks for joining.
John, remember part 4? He's killing me. He's killing me.
The cheesiness of 80s horror.
Oh, the cheesiness. Like, get away.
Yeah.
Get out of here. He's killing me. He's killing me.
Well, Kevin, if you're out on the street in downtown LA and somebody's stabbing at you, wouldn't you shout, he's killing me? He's killing me. Wouldn't you?
I'd probably see, please help me. He's stabbing me. Go get help now, please.
No.
Say something like that.
No, you got to say cat. That's how you get people to pay attention. Cat, cat, cat. It's like cat videos, free cat videos. Then everybody turns, what? Free cat videos? That's how you get people's attention, especially, yes. Jason and Michael Myers are the only killers who can move faster walking than a running Olympian in full sprint.
Well, you see,
Chris,
Jason
you're not wrong.
knows all the shortcuts. Jason knows all the shortcuts in Crystal Lake. He knows that place like the back of his hand. So that's why you'd be running for your life, and somehow he'll know, okay, he's probably going to head this way, so let me take this shortcut here. I'll cut him off at the end.
Yep.
And that's
It was like that when you played the game that came out a couple years ago, man. There was, yeah, you had your map, and you just knew where to go and cut people off. It was great. I had fun playing that one while it was still, able to, because now they can't do anything with it.
Anita says another vote for the sleeping bag scene. Reza says that ending with Jason was supposed to be a what-if situation. You're not supposed to know if it's real or if it was all her dreaming of it. But the movie did so well, they made him the lead. Dun, dun, dun. Chris says, hi, Sammy. Sammy says, psh, whatever. Jeez, wow. Street Slim says Friday the 13th part 5 is really mean. Sammy says Jason is my ride buddy. I think she's talking about our car. Lexi says missed all of us. Oh, thanks, buddy. Sammy says got his mask on my passenger headrest. Oh, that's right, you do, don't you? So you can go in the carpool lane. Terrible human being. Pamela Voorhees should have never left her mentally challenged son Jason alone, says Frank.
Well, that's why the counselors were there. They were supposed to watch him.
That's right. You got to feel bad for Pamela. You have to.
You do.
Yeah, you have to. And then it was kind of cool that they touched on that a little bit in Freddy vs. Jason. They gave you a little bit of that story too, which is really cool.
That's true.
I do like that.
I think in one of the original Freddy vs. Jason scripts, Freddy supposedly would have worked at Crystal Lake. I think that was one of the earlier drafts.
Yeah.
Oh, we've got a good one. We've got a good one, guys. Popping in right now. Flying on in at number 19. I have to spell it very particular. C period H period U period D period. Chud.
And what does that stand for?
Well, okay, so there's two reasons for it to stand. One of these standings for it is cannibalistic humanoid underground dwellers, and the other is I believe it's the Chemical Corporation or something. It's the initials for that or something like that.
Mm-hmm. Try saying that really fast, like 5 times though. I tried before and I got through like 2.
What? Cannibalistic humanoid underground dwellers? Cannibalistic humanoid underground dwellers?
Ah, see?
Yeah.
Cannibalistic humanoid underground.
Oh boy.
Underground dwellers. Cannibalistic humanoid underground dwellers. Cannibalistic humanoid underground dwellers.
Emeroid Emigrant Dweller? You did not even know what you were saying.
I said cannibalistic humanoid underground dwellers.
No, you did not. You play this back later. Play this back later.
All right, we'll play it back. Cannibalistic humanoid underground dwellers.
I think I heard a dwellers in there somewhere. I don't know.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. Absolutely.
Underground dwellers.
By the way, we got some new people in the chat. Just want to let you know we're going to be giving away killer hot sauce, killer pickle at the end of the night, guys. So stay tuned for that. We're going to hook you up with some free hot sauce. So stay tuned. Let's see. Frank says, who would win a war between the Chud and the Critters?
That's a good one.
Well, oh man. All right, so let me ask this question. Chud,
About the gremlins.
Now, if the Critters form their huge critter ball, they probably could roll right through Chud. I mean, let's be honest.
That's not a bad thought process there. Yeah.
You know, I mean, they did roll through, what was it, the town sheriff or whatever. They rolled right through him, and he was a bag of bones.
Let's just talk about this cast for Chud. We're talking Daniel Stern. We're talking Christopher Curry. We're talking John Hurd. We're talking John Goodman. We're talking Laurie Matos. We're talking such a great high-caliber cast for such a odd little film from, I believe, 1984. Came out around almost the beginning of September. Photographer George Cooper, which is John Hurd, is documenting the lives of subterranean homeless people as the population of those homeless start to dwindle, and they're wondering why that is. So he's doing this documentary, and this is happening at the same time. After receiving information from a reporter, George becomes aware of a conspiracy theory about cannibalistic monsters lurking in the sewers. He teams up with a reporter, a policeman, and a priest, played by Daniel Stern, to fight 2 battles, one against the cannibals and the other against a corrupt government official. So, it's a really good movie.
It was Home Alone before it was Home Alone, because you had Daniel Stern and John Hurd, so you kind of had that little connection there. Maybe that's why they robbed his house. He was pissed about Chud. I don't know. Who knows? Could be. You know?
Okay, so one of the audience reviews that I'm reading, sometimes I like to read these little reviews that people give. One of them says, they had an old movie theater bring the show Chud up a few weeks ago. What a wonderful time my boyfriend and I had. I probably shouldn't reveal this, but during the movie, we fancied ourselves a little fondle fun time. Want to talk about a hot orgasm? Oh my God.
Hi. Oh my God.
This is a review.
I will say that I've never been turned on by Chud, but hey, if it works for you, so be it. So be it. Cannibalistic, humanoid, orgasmic dwellers. How about that? Is that how we choose the name? Or
I think they got that mixed up with a different movie, spelled a little differently.
I think so too.
Yeah.
I think so too. Yep.
All
right, we got some comments. Oh my God, I want some hot sauce, says Chris. Whoever wins, can I have your hot sauce? Kevin says, haha, Chris. Reza says, the winner of Chud versus Critters, the people under the stairs. Oh, nice.
Oh, they did a run-in. Okay. All right.
Gremlins. What the Gremlins?
Chris is trying to broker a halvesy custody deal with Sammy over the hot sauce. So that's there's side discussions going on here that we don't even know about.
The wheels are turning. Once the hot sauce money makes me hot sauce rich, we're going to make a video game called Super Slash Brothers, and it's going to be a fighting melee game with all the horror movie things like this.
Dude, I've been talking about that for years. I wanted to do something like that. I wish I could do that. That would be great. I would love to play something like that.
Yep.
Yeah, along the lines of like the old, what was the one with the chainsaw guy? Yeah, we're not talking about video games, so.
I know what one, Slaughterhouse something or Slaughter.
Oh, yeah. I know exactly what show. Yeah, that's the one. Yep. There's that and a sequel to it, yeah.
Yep. My mom says I saw the people under the stairs, and I still check my basement steps. LOL. Kevin, what's that?
Yes.
Yeah.
That was Wes Craven, too. Yeah, those are...
Reza says Donald and Kevin are best chuds. Oh, that's weird. That sounds weird. Reza says Roach was my dude. The Gremlins can take them all. That was Kevin said that. Scorch says I don't want to think about the chud having an orgasm.
No.
Nobody does, buddy.
No,
Nobody does, but
No, you
apparently
don't.
that
No, you
lady.
don't.
So good for her. Yeah, it came out. I had a $1.25 million budget. Came out in August of 1984. And it was distributed by New World Pictures. Go figure.
New World Pictures.
So that's chud for those of you that like your chud. Like to chew your chud, I guess. I don't know. I got nothing.
The next one is quite a chopping experience.
Yeah. Yeah, that it is.
Yep, that's number 18 on the list.
That one's Slade. And that's Slade.
Who's ever heard of a movie called Chopping Mall? Anybody? John has.
Oh yeah.
I see.
Oh yeah. Well, it was so misleading in a way because the cover has a shopping bag with arms and legs in it, and it tells you when shopping can cost you an arm or a leg. Essentially, yes, it could. But when you watch the movie, you're thinking maybe slasher movie, okay, yeah, this, that, and the other. And then you watch it, and it's actual killer robots.
Yeah.
Who expected that? Let's be honest. I didn't expect that at all.
And this can really happen, too.
Reza,
You know what?
Reza called it a
True.
chudgasm.
Oh, okay. That's comment of the night so far. Yeah.
Chudgasm. Yeah, it's a good one, Reza.
Now, seriously, look at that photograph there. If I saw that robot cat after me, I'd probably start laughing. I'm like, come on, really, dude? You really gonna try and hurt me?
And then he blows his laser at your head and it just goes, pfft, you're done. And then you wouldn't expect that.
Yep, you wouldn't
That's
expect
the
it.
thing, man. No. Who sleeps over at the mall though? Like, is that a thing? Do you do that? I've never done that. Anybody sleep
Well,
over?
if you're in Dawn of the Dead, you can understand. That's a different story.
Right, exactly. These people worked at the
You've
mall.
never been to mall sleepovers?
No.
No, I never have. No.
Weirdos. Brian,
Never
we had mall sleepovers all the time back in New Philly, right?
I don't know what you're talking about, Donald.
Oh. So that janitor lied to me.
Uh-oh.
So did they realize they ripped off the hand from the house with all on the cover?
Can we just talk about that for a second too? Another great 80s horror movie too. Just because.
Oh, House?
Yeah.
I
And
love
House
House.
2.
House and House
mean,
2
yeah.
are fantastic. Yeah, I'm happy to
Great movies.
talk
Great
about them.
Also, April Fool's Day is another one we missed.
Yes. My all-time favorite, Night of the Demons, because it didn't make the list. I was the only person that voted for it, but I love that movie. Just saying. And a very quotable line from that movie that I probably can't say on here, but if you watch it, you know it. Just saying.
Yep.
You know it.
8 teenagers get trapped in a shopping center after hours, and 3 murderous security robots chase them. That's a description that they have for Chopping Mall. Came out in 1986, back in March. Had a budget of, you guessed it, $800,000. That's why it doesn't look nearly as good as Chud or the other films we've mentioned so far, because their budget was $800,000, guys. That's not a big budget, even back in 86.
So I just have one question.
Craft services. So
Speaking of the budget for that, have any of you guys seen the new reboot of Jeepers Creepers yet?
No, I haven't.
Nope.
Okay. Just to say, we were talking budgets real quick. I know this has nothing to do with the 80s, but they had a $5 million budget, and I think they spent $5 of it on the entire movie.
oof.
Wow.
It's awful.
So
Just
they
awful.
pocketed the rest, huh?
That's what I'm thinking, because, man, if everything from makeup to the set to everything else, just $5 worth of stuff. They went to Walmart and got the clearance section of makeup, and there you go.
Oof.
It was bad. Very bad.
They ordered everything off Wish.
Yes, and then they got the whole movie.
Yeah. Yeah, they just sent them the film.
Right? They're like, here you go.
Oh, that's what we were planning on making anyway. Okay, great. So this little gem of Chopping Mall has one Mr. Dick Miller in there, who was in so many horror films in the 80s alone. It was incredible, and what a treasure Dick Miller was. I say was because he passed away last year, I think, or the year before. Pretty recent.
Yeah, past couple of years for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, but really cool movie, really cool story. It's just fun on a bun, I say. Lighthearted fun, but with a killer twist.
Yes. That's the thing about the 80s. There were so many different, like, obviously we're talking horror, but there's like subgenres. So you have your creature features, you have your slashers, you got your
like sleepaway camp.
Yeah, exactly. You got like paranormal stuff. You got your possession. Like there's so many subgenres of horror, and the 80s had everything, literally everything. So there was so much to choose from. That's the hardest part. In the 43 years that I've been on this earth, this was the hardest decision I've ever had to make, just so you know. Very, very hard, man. Wow. Because there's so much stuff to pick from.
It's true. There's a lot. But when you have Gary Busey and a cripple kid fighting a werewolf.
The cripple kid. I don't think that's in the description, is it?
It is. It's what it says.
That's the tagline.
Yeah.
That's the tagline. Hey, watch this movie. It's Gary Busey and the cripple kid fighting a werewolf.
Nothing was
the box that draws you in.
That's a very basic explanation. He's in a wheelchair thing. It's called the silver bullet, right? I mean, that's what they call it.
Yeah.
Is there a beer called a silver bullet too?
Yeah,
yes.
Coors, I think, or something.
Oh, there we go.
The silver bullet. Yeah. Yeah.
Like shooting yourself in the liver, the silver bullet.
Yeah.
The best, worst description ever.
Let's see. Frank says Daniel Stern screams more loudly in Home Alone over a tarantula than he does while being attacked by a chud.
That's true.
Chris says Chris says I would totally spend the night at the mall. Alexi says a horror film I starred in was just released. One review read, "So bad it's worth watching because nothing has ever been so ridiculously terrible." That's good. See?
I would take that as a compliment, though, man.
Take it.
I would take that. I would. Absolutely.
That's how I describe one of the ones I've voted in the top 25 here.
Chris Duque says Daniel Stern screaming gives me a semi-chud. There's that.
Wow.
All right, we'll give you that one, sir. You get a star. Reza says the new Monsters should be considered a horror movie, considering what Sherry Moon Zombie put us through with that performance. Haven't seen it yet, buddy, but I will let you know.
I didn't hate it. I'm probably going to go to hell for saying that, but I didn't hate it. I didn't hate it. I really didn't.
Chris Duque says the new horror film Smiles really creepy. It just seems so stupid. But I did love the viral marketing that they did with the baseball stadiums and stuff.
Yeah, that was cool.
Really smart.
Yes, very much so. And it got picked up by TV so many times. Like you saw that on the TV, and everybody's like, "What's going on? What's going on here?"
Chris says, starring Gary Busey and a cripple this summer.
Damn it.
Siskel and Ebert.
Chris gets his comment pinned for the moment while we talk about Silver Bullet. One more quick mention of it. It's fun. Watch it. I mean, it's a horror film, but it's a fun horror film.
Yeah, and you got your, I don't want to give it away, obviously, but one of your main characters is also one of the main characters from People Under the Stairs. And then you had the sheriff, who ends up being the main character from The Stepfather, which there's two other 80s movies, or 90s for People Under the Stairs, but 80s movies that are just fun, man. Like, everything kind of like, it was a good cast of people, if you think about it. Corey Haim, Gary Busey, you had a good cast. Mm-hmm. Well, I'm sorry, Gary Busey and the Cripple Kid, my bad.
Yeah.
I had to say it right.
Get it straight.
My bad.
Okay, so that's Silver Bullet at number 17. Let's go to number 16.
Yes, I think that's what me and Brian's favorite one here. I think
I have not seen it.
Is it because it has Dennis Hopper in it?
Oh no. I've met the cast, like most of the cast of that, at a horror convention. I got to party and hang out with quite a few of them. It made it even more special. But it's another one of those so bad it's good.
Yeah, no, I 100% agree with you. I love the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre, don't get me wrong. It's one of my top favorite movies, but the second one is like, it's one of those guilty pleasures of mine. Like, I tell people all the time, like, I just love the movie. It's so all over the place. You got Chop Top. Bill Moseley absolutely kills that role. Caroline Williams, I think, does a great job in that. Dennis Hopper. So I think he's just as crazy, if not crazier, than the actual family that he's hunting down in the movie.
That's true.
He's like, he's walking through singing songs and cutting down, right? Dude, he's chopping down the whole place, and eventually, you know, one of my favorite parts is when he gets the cook and he gets him in the ass with the chainsaw. And dude, the dialogue, you could tell they just made half of that up. Like, he's just swearing and saying all this crazy stuff, man.
Now, have you ever seen Return of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre? That was one of the debut films for Renee Zellweger and Matthew McConaughey.
Oh yeah, yes.
Was that when Leatherface was in drag?
You got it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, wearing the wig, acting like mama. Yep.
Yeah.
When Jerry Maguire came out, I guess whoever had the rights to that, they immediately was like putting their name on the box. They're like, oh, Renee Zellweger's in this movie. Matthew McConaughey's in this movie. Check it out.
Yeah.
I don't think they ever like openly talk about being in it though. They're like, no, we never heard of that one. Never heard of that one. Never. No.
No.
Dude, part 3 was actually good too, though. Like, I enjoyed part 3.
I actually remember the tagline: "The Saw His Family." Actually,
yes.
My mom gave a really good review for The Monsters. You know it's not good, by the way, because my mom says, "Saw the movie, they tried." So you know it's pretty bad when my mom says they tried.
That should be on the box.
Yeah. Saw the movie, they tried.
Yeah, somewhere hidden. I was trying to search for it for this this stream, but I have the VHS copy of Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2, autographed by Bill Moseley, Bill Johnson, and it was Jim Sedell. But yeah, wow. Bill Moseley signed it, "Lick my plate, you dog."
Yes.
By the way, what's with this family photograph here? The way they're posing, it cracks me up.
It's the Breakfast Club.
Right, could be more Breakfast Club.
It is, but it's just so funny the way they do the knockoff. It's just hilarious.
Yeah, no, they were having
fun.
There was
nothing really serious about this film at all.
No,
like they just It's a comedy. Seriously, it's a comedy.
It really is. A lot of people don't know that the character laying across the front there, Nubbins, was his name, is actually the hitchhiker from Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the first one. So a lot of people don't know that, but that's him. That's supposed to be him.
It's the same actor, or it's supposed to be the same character?
Same character. Definitely. It's just, I think that was just a dummy for the movie, but that's supposed to be the same character because he obviously got killed in that one. So
okay.
That was the brother, of course, and the whole. I remember watching that with a friend of mine, and the scene where Chop Top's talking to Stretch in the radio station. And he's, doing the whole lighting the lighter and scratching the head, and that's my fave, and all of a sudden he's like, what's in here, the gold oldies, and he hits the light and Leatherface comes out of there with the chainsaw. Scared the hell out of people, and I love that part. So good.
All right, next we got number 15 on the list. Kevin, I know that you were excited to see this on the list. It was really, really low and wasn't going to make it, Kevin, but I pulled one of my choices to tip the balance of the scales to make it fit within the framework. And it actually ended up doing quite well.
I never made a big deal about this one. I mean, it should definitely be here. That's the 1986, actually second version of the movie, The Fly, with good old Jeff Goldblum.
Kevin, you said if this didn't make it, you were going to cry.
I did not say that. That was John who said that.
You actually no.
I
You texted it.
Put it on my list.
You texted it to me. I've got it right here.
Oh, yeah. You have no evidence. You have no evidence of that.
It's literally right here. If you don't put The Fly in tonight, I will cry.
Not true.
Not true. The two streams frowny face.
Not true. Untrue.
Okay.
Unsubstantiated.
I'll post it later. How about that?
Brian, have you seen this movie recently?
This is sacrilegious, but I have to admit I have not seen The Fly, and I'm probably going to watch it this week. I want to see it.
Mm-hmm.
David Cronenberg was the gynecologist in it. Yeah.
Yeah, you definitely need to see it. It's fantastic. It's well worth watching. It is a great horror film. I debated on this one for the practical.
Are there buttholes in there?
For the story. Well, everybody has one, but there wasn't nearly as many as any of other Cronenberg's work. I think he was tamed out on the buttholes on this one. In fact, somebody I think went like, David. He's like, yeah, don't put any buttholes in here, would you? Oh, okay.
There's got to be a deleted scene of at least a fly ass somewhere.
Yeah.
Somewhere.
Yeah. It's like little buttholes just pulsing. It's gotta be pulsing. And he
It
notices
was rated BH13.
Yep. Okay, so let's see. Alex Bankita has joined us. Thanks for joining, Alex. Thanks for popping in, buddy.
What's up, Alex?
My mom says saw the first Fly, never saw the remake. Okay, so she saw the original. Scorch Frank says the arm wrestling scene in The Fly has permanently scarred my brain. I cannot unsee Marky's wrist get snapped like that. It's true. And Street Slim says I need to rewatch The Fly. I haven't seen it since I was a kid. Chris says yikes. I can imagine I've seen those arm wrestling fails happen for real. Painful to watch. Anita says The Fly terrified me as a kid. I was afraid I was going to turn into a bug. No idea why. Yeah, that doesn't make sense. But yeah, it was a great film. It's a really spooky film. It's all about spliced genes and bad choices. Alcohol probably should not have been on the menu. Waiter, there's a fly in me. That should have been the tagline. But it wasn't. But it should have been.
The scene where he shows her how he eats, that's disgusting.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he has to spit up on everything to digest it and then sucks it back up. Oh, nasty. Yeah, pretty nasty. So. But a really fun film. Like a Hunchback of Notre Dame type story, really.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking at the German poster, and I'm not sure if that's scarier or less scary than the American pronunciation. Flugen.
That does sound a lot cooler, I'm not going to lie. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Okay, number 14. Moving on fast. Alex, we know you got to leave soon. Thanks for popping in, buddy. As always, a pleasure.
Thank you, brother.
Poltergeist is number 14 on our list.
We're talking about the original
movie I watched, yes, in the 80s. I watched this probably about 8 years ago for the first time and woke up and had a horrible nightmare where I was thrown against the wall, pushed down into the corner, into the crack of the wall, between the wall and the floor, and was held there by some unspeakable, unknowable force. And it just freaked me out. It was the weirdest dream I've had in a while.
Yeah, you had a night terror.
I did.
Paralyzed.
I did have a night terror, yes. I had a bad night terror.
Yeah, those are some of the most scariest nightmares you could have because you're powerless. You can't do anything.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Right. I think the fact that so much, as they call it, the curse basically of this whole film with everything that went down,
all three movies.
Yeah, the rumor that apparently they used real skeletons and stuff in the scene in the pool and stuff.
They did.
Yeah,
dude, can you imagine some of the honestly, think about some of the movies even from the 70s we talked about before too. They went through some of these actors went through a lot of hell to do these movies, man. It's crazy.
Sure.
You hear some of these weird stories, and this is one of those ones that has, as you said, Kevin, all three movies in the series have some type of curse story to it. It's crazy, man.
It is crazy because the first movie, the oldest sister dies in real life because her ex-boyfriend chokes her and she ends up dying in the hospital and kills her. The second movie is kind of more of an incidental, just an unfortunate coincidence. The two people that died there were sick. The first one was the preacher,
the old Indian guy,
and
too,
the old
right?
Indian. He died on the operating table from his heart surgery or something like that. And the third one, that was the one that should never happen. It was a poor medical diagnosis at the hospital with the little girl, Heather O'Rourke, and she died.
Yeah, that was sad.
The second movie creeps me out actually the most because of that tequila. That freaks me out.
Man, yes, the tequila worm. Yes, yes.
Oh, yes, someone brings up the braces. Yeah, Street Slim. That one freaks me out too. Thank you, because I had braces too when I was a kid. Yeah, that freaked me out too.
The clown from the first one, when he grabs the kid around the neck, it was hell no.
Man.
Nope. Hell no, man. And then Reverend Cain is just creepy in his own right.
Oh, man. The Lord is in his holy temple. Yeah. And he's wearing an old school 19th century preacher, suit. Oh, man.
How about let me in? How about no? I'm locking the door. See you later, dude.
Maria says Anita says, I watched this in the middle school and had to sleep with the lights on and a Bible under my bed sheet for weeks. I watched it late one night with Mom. Oh, okay.
And you have to mention Zelda Rubinstein too, because she was great.
Oh yeah, she's great.
As usual, always great.
Yeah.
Let's see. Poltergeist 3 had some great special effects, says Eugenio. And Poltergeist was amazing, says Amy. I agree. I thought it should be much higher up on the list. But it
Yes.
is what it is, you know? I mean, you know, number 14 is not a terrible spot to be, particularly because there are a lot of other great 80s horror, and we're going to be putting those up now, actually.
Dude,
So-
honestly, I think every movie that made this list, like some of the ones that we wouldn't expect, are kind of lucky to get there because again, there's so much stuff to choose from.
Mm-hmm.
So much stuff.
Number
I'm going to be
13.
disappointed. Sorry,
Go ahead.
go for I'm going to be disappointed going back and rewatching the Poltergeist movie because Hitchcock is in this from Brooklyn Nine-Nine, and he is not going to look like young Hitchcock in Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Hitchcock. Oh, yes. It was Sully and Hitchcock, right? Those are the two guys?
Was it Sully? What?
Was this not Sully?
I forget his name.
Something like that. But yeah.
We're talking about horror, not comedy, though. So.
It's true. Number 13, we're talking, well, actually, this is funny you say that because we've got Leslie Nielsen up on the screen here. We're talking number 13. We're talking Creepshow 2. Take your pick. It's all really one for us. So Creepshows.
I mean, yeah. All right, so everybody's seen Creepshow, right? Everybody here?
Yes.
Creepshow?
It's been a while, but yeah, go ahead.
What's your favorite story out of the first one?
The one with Ted Danson in it.
Absolutely.
Tide you over. Yeah.
Absolutely the one you see right now with Leslie Nielsen because I love Leslie Nielsen so much.
I like the crate though. I thought that was a good one. I always enjoyed the crate. I thought that was a good story. Part 2 for me was always the Thanks for the Ride Lady. I love that one. I don't know why. There's just something about that one. Just I don't know. But see, I think Part 2 in some ways was better than the first one in a way. I love the first one. Don't get me wrong. But some of those stories, man, the raft, the Chief Woodenhead, like I just thought they were good, man. Not that the first one didn't have good stories too, because it really did.
Right.
And it's one of those things where like you got Leslie Nielsen, you got Ted Danson, all these people that normally didn't do.
Ed
horror, but
Harris.
they just-
Was there a Creepshow 3?
There was, and it was awful.
Yeah.
Just awful.
Okay.
Then there's a reboot. There's the made
show,
for the TV one.
But I
don't
heard
think
that
made
was.
it part of
I
the
thought
new-
that was animated or something like that.
They did do 2 animated episodes.
Okay.
Like there was a Christmas one and I think a Halloween one, but it's on Shudder. And Greg
it's a
Nicotero.
regular anthology TV series. Yeah, it was rebooted as this.
Okay. Reza says I had a night terror recently. It was just Kevin telling me about his day.
Wow. That's messed up. That's
I'm just
messed
having
up.
fun and it's Dawn in a bird suit for some reason.
Yeah. Well then. Yeah, I may have done that. Yeah, I may have been in a bird suit at one point. Chris
There's
is. Yeah, figment of yeah. Chris says, "Oh my God, Creepshow was so good. Leslie Nielsen is a legend."
Yes, he is.
Definitely.
Chris says
line from the end of the movie.
the bathroom scene in Poltergeist 3 where she walks in the bathroom in the mirror and then walks in for real, so creepy. Eugenio says the Creepshow TV series they made recently was pretty good.
Not bad at all.
Creepshow 3 was horrible.
Absolutely, yes.
And Chris 2K says, thanks for the ride, lady.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So that's number 13. Some good stuff. A nice anthology horror type of thing, which we get to see more of in the 90s, thankfully, because these did pretty well. So thank goodness
Yes,
for
they
that. Number 12 is a film that it's not my forte. I don't think I've ever seen it, to be honest. But it's Return
It's funny.
of the Living
The
Dead.
Living Dead. It's funny. It's hilarious. I don't know why it's ranked this high though. I wouldn't rank it this high, but you know what? It's still a fun movie.
It got ranked this high because of you guys. Is this the first time that like zombies ever said something about brains?
Yes, like brains. I really need your brains. You know, it's great.
Okay, then
And of
yeah, I
course,
have seen it.
Send more
Gratuitous
paramedics. That was like a classic line.
Yeah. What was that, Brian?
There was gratuitous nudity with trash.
Yeah.
I actually have a hot sauce in my fridge that is actually trash sauce, and then there's the extra hot trash sauce, which has her topless. I don't have the topless.
Hey.
So.
Speaking of topless, we have a delicious hot sauce here that'll make you want to take your shirt off because you're going to get so heated. It's called Killer Pickle, and it is by Half's Hot Sauce. You go to halfshotsauce.com, you type in the coupon code Donald Hiccups, and you get 10% off your order. And that is if you don't win. And even if you do win, you should buy some hot sauce. Follow Alex Banquita's lead. Text me in the middle of the night and say, hey, what was the code for that hot sauce again? And I will send it to you, no problem.
Yeah, and I'm coming in even hotter than Donald. He's giving away 1 bottle. I'm raising the bar. We're giving away 4 more bottles. So.
4 more bottles. He's going to send you a 4-pack. One of them in there is more cowbell. It literally says more cowbell. And let me tell you what, it is hot.
Yeah, if you have a fever, we got the cure.
Yeah. It's delicious, but it's hot. So use it sparingly.
Delicious and vicious.
Yeah.
So, speaking of trash from this movie, obviously it's Linnea Quigley. Has there ever been a movie that she's not been naked in? Seriously? Like, every horror movie she's in, literally, she dies pretty much naked. Every
Must be in her contract.
It's got to be. It's got to be, man. She was partially naked in Night of the Demon. She was naked in Silent Night, Deadly Night. It's like, you can just go down the list. Every movie. She was like the nude actress of the 80s, basically. Everything.
You got it, flaunt it. I guess.
Yeah, I guess.
I mean, yeah.
It's
I
kind of like
guess
Sean
so.
Bean. Like, it seems like he's contracted to die in every movie he's in.
Oh, Maria wants to see me taste test some hot sauce. I'll tell you what, I'll do that right near the end of the night. I'll do some hot sauce tasting. It'll give you people something to keep tuning in for. Chris says, I remember my mom showing me the movie Return of the Living Dead when I was a kid. We always loved horror movies as a family. The dead guy with the melting skin off of his skull.
Tarman.
Yes.
I've got a glow-in-the-dark shirt of Tarman. I should have wore for this. But
Nice.
yeah.
Okay, well, if this doesn't make you feel better, perhaps you need something to make you feel a little more upbeat. Maybe we can send in the clowns. Perhaps some killer clowns?
Yes.
Oh no.
With laser beams?
So we're talking killer clowns from outer space, guys. I think this got so high on the list because it's fucking creepy. Tell me I'm
I mean,
wrong.
If you're scared of clowns, yeah. I always thought it was just like a fun movie. But think about the fact that it came out in 1988. It's 2022, and the merchandise and all that stuff is so hot right now for this movie that it's still so popular after so long. Like,
You
it's
can't
nuts.
go into a spirit without seeing that clown right up
Yeah.
front.
Yeah, and they're putting out a video game too. Like, it's crazy that how popular this movie still is after all this time.
Ain't that
It's a
something?
good
Heck,
time.
what a video game of that.
Yeah, it looks awesome. I'm not gonna lie. I saw footage of it. It looks pretty sweet. So, like,
Heck yeah.
I mean, that says something for, I mean, how many years is that? What, 20, 30, 30 plus years or whatever? Like, that's saying something, man. But it's just a fun movie. There's so much, it's goofy, but it's scary at the same time. I mean, they're clowns from outer space. What more could you ask for? You know?
That's true.
You got the cotton candy gun. If they shoot you, it turns you into a big ball of cotton candy,
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah.
You got the
Hey, at least
acid
it tastes
pies,
sweet.
you know. That's right. You got the. Remember the scene with the cop, and he says, "You're not going to make a dummy out of me," and then all of a sudden you see him a little bit later, and he's like a puppet sitting on the clown's lap. I
Yeah.
mean, that was just the foreshadowing of that was great.
Right.
The
It's
movie itself
really,
is just so much fun.
it's really clever. It's a lot of tongue in cheek. It's fun. There's some gore, obviously.
Yes.
I think that the grotesque lookingness, like the grotesque design of the clowns, was fantastic. Like, just really killer. Just really, really good.
I
Really,
see.
really. Yeah, thank you.
I see what you did
Yeah,
there.
yeah. It was excellent. Highly recommend Killer Clowns from Outer Space if you hate yourself and clowns.
Oh no. Well, you got to think about the scene with Shorty though, when the guy says, "What are you gonna do? Knock my block off?" And well, that's what he does.
That's exactly what he
So,
does.
I mean,
Yeah.
Yes, he does.
Yeah.
Yes, he does.
So that was the last of the non-top 10. And coming in, surprisingly, at number 10, I'm amazed it made it this far up the list. We're
Me too.
talking
I was
about a Fred Decker film written with Shane Black, if I recall. Or at least got some input from Shane on this one. This is the 1986 Crowd Pleaser, Night of the Creeps.
And if
Thrill
I
me.
may say the line from Tom Atkins, I got
Please.
good news and bad news, girls. The good news is your dates are here.
Yes.
What's the bad news? They're dead.
And then the other famous line from the whole movie, "Thrill me," because that was the line right there.
Yep.
Yep.
Throw me.
I love this one. I know Donald. I know you feel the same way. I know you love this one.
Oh yeah.
I think it's one of those ones a lot of people don't know. You can say Night of the Creeps, and they're like, "Wait, what's that?" Because there was a lot of Night of in the 80s.
Night of something.
Yeah, always something.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, I think that's one of those ones where people say, "Wait, I think I've heard of that, but I don't know what it is." But another one, it's kind of all over the place. But it was, you had zombies, you had aliens, you had these like slugs that possessed your brain, and it's like, man, there was so much going on, but it was such a cool movie, though.
Mm-hmm.
Is that rebooted?
No, not surprisingly, no. I'm shocked, but no, not yet.
No, not yet. But
it's going to be now, but
I think you might be thinking of that one movie, Slither.
No, the slug thing reminded me of Sliver, but there was another one. I thought it was called Creeps.
There's Shivers. There was also Shivers back in the 70s.
Mm-hmm.
Now the one I'm thinking of was Mind Control, where the people turned to zombies, and it was very similar to the Stephen King, the one book he released about a decade ago, where the phone signal cell. But I think that was...
They made that into a film recently, too. I think that's on Netflix right now. The cellular phone one. So Night of the Creeps. Basically, there's an alien battle in space, and one of the aliens has a tube, and he launches that tube into space. They're not unable to stop him, and he launches the tube, and the tube lands, and it's basically filled with these like little slithery creatures, which then get inside of you, turn you into somewhat of a zombie, so you can go find another person that you can walk up to, explode, and then get into their mouth or their eyes or ears or whatever, their buttholes, and then lay more eggs, and so on and so forth, and so on and so on and so on.
Wait, did Cronenberg have something to do with that too? Or?
Yeah, I think he did. Cronenberg did definitely give some input on this film. He was like, you gotta have buttholes, right? I mean, if they don't get in through the ears, the mouth, the eyes, they're going in the butthole. Yes. I'm David Cronenberg, by the way, and I approve this message.
It takes a lot of effort to get something in your butthole. I mean, you
does it? Does it? That's not what I heard about you. I heard it was quite easy.
Oh, I don't know.
To charm the pants off of Kevin is what I heard.
I don't think so.
Well, then.
Yep. So that's Night of the Creeps. Check it out. Butthole approved.
Cronenberg.
Check out the extra ending too if you haven't seen that part too.
Yes.
Make sure to watch that.
This one had a slow start, and I was concerned for it, but then it really, really did well and ended up being high up on the list, and I'm very happy with that. It's a solid film that just keeps on scaring. We're talking number 9 on the list. We're talking about Child's Play. Chucky.
Hi, my name's Chucky.
Brian, was this one on your list?
Yeah, it was.
Okay.
Anything with Brad Dourif I love, and the beginning of Brad Dourif was the best.
Mm-hmm. Agree.
Good Guys, that was creepy as heck. Such a great movie. I haven't watched it since I was probably about 16 years old, so I'll let you guys take the reins on this one.
All right. Child's Play. Kevin, this is your favorite. John, you love this film.
I do.
Child's Play.
Good time.
Kevin loves it because he loves dolls, and anything with dollies in it, he's a fan of.
Well, I'll say it's pretty disturbing when you have your favorite doll is just looking to possess your soul. That's pretty scary. It's pretty creepy.
Yeah.
You're not wrong.
That's legit. I mean, the whole thing, like, if you guys, I don't know if you guys have seen, like, they have the Chucky series now, too, which is super cool because it takes from every bit of Child's Play, all the way from the first one that we're talking about, all the way to Cult of Chucky.
Is Andy in it?
Yeah, he actually is, yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So it picks up. You got Tiffany, you got Andy, you got Kyle from part 2. They literally took everything and just made this show, which was, you see every bit of it. And you kind of, I would tell people to watch the movie so you kind of have an idea what's going on, but you really don't have to because you still get informed on everything that happened. And you get to, like, his daughter actually played him in some of the flashback scenes, and man, she looks just like him. It was crazy. I had no idea it was her until I watched the behind the scenes thing. But like, you get that early story of him being the lake was a Lakeshore Strangler, and you find out about him and Eddie Caputo and all that stuff too, and another Tom Holland film that he had Chris Sarandon in too, which can't go wrong with Chris Sarandon. Just saying.
You're right.
The scene where she obviously grabs him and she's trying to get him to talk, and then she's going to throw him in the fireplace and he starts freaking out and swearing at her and stuff. It's just a memorable scene.
Mm-hmm.
Again, you've seen other movies with dolls and stuff and everything else that have come to life, but this one kind of took the cake, I guess you could say, in a way. Like, this one was that one that everybody remembers.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the killer doll, it's Chucky,
Yeah, really scary.
And
you knew it was coming eventually. You just didn't want it to.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
My Buddy came out, and you were like, oh, shit, here we go.
Oh yeah, My Buddy.
Yep.
Yes.
Kid Sister, and we're like, oh, shit.
Right?
We're in trouble.
Yeah, Kid Sister was kind of like that Dolly Dearest type of thing, that movie that came out. It was, so that's pretty much equivalent to that.
Yeah.
Like Brian said, though, Brad Dourif, you can't go wrong with him, man. Just his voice enough for Chucky is just, it's the laugh, the way he sounds and stuff, everything, man. It's just top notch.
But who wins in a fight, though? Chucky or Annabelle?
Chucky, 100%.
Yeah.
Annabelle was more or less like, I think she was more like she was a possessed doll, but you never saw her really move around or do anything.
All right.
Just kind of sat there and looked at you like, I'm coming for you, but I'm not going to do much. She was tired. She was bored. She didn't want to do much.
Yeah, she a lazy ass, yeah.
Hey, Chucky puts in the work, man. He'll come find you. It doesn't matter. He's coming to your house.
Yeah, that's
He's
true.
gonna do what he's gotta do to get you,
Yeah.
I mean, that's just how it goes.
One way or another.
Right.
Yeah, side note, if you like Brad Dourif, like you were saying about his daughter, look her up. Follow everything she's done. She is an amazing actress. She is so good.
She is. Yeah.
Fiona Dourif. She rocks.
Yes. Okay.
Very true.
Frank says, I love the scene in Child's Play with Chucky where he kills John with his own personal Mojo doll.
Mm-hmm.
Sammy says, nope, this gave me nightmares as a kid about Chucky coming to kill my family. Well, did he? You got to finish up here and tell us the whole story, or else we don't know. Jeez. Mom says, never saw that one. I think I missed the 80s, LOL. Well, cocaine was a hell of a drug, Mom.
Whoa!
Chris 2K says, I used to scare my little brother at night with my buddy doll. Yes, that's awesome. My buddy and me, yep. Bad Chris says, my mom. Enrique says, the Chucky show is great. Yes, it's a lot of fun. No one's mentioned that, but it is a lot of fun. I'm currently watching it and enjoying the hell out of it. There is, as a casual viewer of Chucky, there is a jump the shark moment. I believe it's episode 5 in the Chucky franchise, in this series from USA, sci-fi hybrid here that they got going, where they start to pull in a lot more from the films. And if you don't know what had just happened in some of these newer films, you would have no idea. And trying to keep up is a little hard. So I'm just throwing that out there. Maybe watch a couple of the last few films before you watch the series. It could really help. You'll benefit
And just
from it.
skip the reboot.
Yeah, skip the reboot. My mom says, son, I'm in trouble. All right, guys, have a good night. I got to go to bed. All right.
Kevin's the host now.
Yep.
There you go.
Kevin's got a host. Sorry, Kevin. So number 9 was Child's Play. Number 8. Okay, so you were talking about Brad Dourif, and I think just as worthy and just as fantastic of an actor would be none other than Jeffrey Combs, and we're talking the 1985 animated corpse zombie horror comedy Reanimator.
That was based off of Lovecraft, wasn't it?
Yes,
Yeah,
loosely
H.P.
based.
Lovecraft, yeah.
Yep, loosely based off H.P. Lovecraft's classic horror. It's about Herbert West. He's a young scientist who has a good head on his shoulders and another on the lab table in front of him.
That he does.
Yes.
Very, very true. Those movies are like the epitome of batshit crazy. Like, as they go on, they get progressively crazier. But they're fun though. I mean, I don't know, man. There's something about them. Obviously, they're Full Moon affiliated, which is a whole nother. If you want to talk about 80s stuff when it comes to that kind of like Full Moon, as far as that goes.
To about Full Moon Entertainment.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many classics there too that we can talk about for days.
80s and 90s, 80s and 90s. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they're still going strong today. They're not as good as they were back then, but they're still going. But yeah, man, Reanimator's a lot of fun. I mean, what more can you say about it? There's a lot of stuff you could say, but some of the scenes are a little, they're a little something.
It's out there. They're out there.
Yeah, it's out there, definitely. The doctor's head is a good time because it talks, which is interesting.
Oh, by the way, that doctor's, oh man, that was a very creepy, nasty doctor. What he tried to do, what he did to that poor woman. Terrible.
Things you'll do for a lady, Kevin.
Oh, that's going too far there, brother. It's going way too far.
Well, it's just the way you are. I'm sorry, buddy.
Oh.
I don't know what to tell you. All right, Eugenio says, is that the one where the head gives head? No, I don't think so.
No, that was High Tension.
There you go.
Hot Tension, yeah.
That's another one. Wow. Yeah.
Christopher K says, we're all patiently waiting for number 7 now. Yawn. Wow.
Oh.
Looks like somebody else needs reanimated.
Jeez.
It's great.
Pull up some green serum here if you need it, just
all right. Well, we're going to move on to number 7, and you'll be glad that we did, because as much as we love werewolves, we also really love vampires. And what would be an 80s list of vampires if we did not include the 1987 Kiefer Sutherland classic, The Lost Boys?
Absolutely.
A movie that no doubt had to have influenced Twilight and True Blood TV series on HBO, amongst other things. The somewhat glamorous vampires. Although in this case, these guys, you took these guys seriously. These Lost Boys, they come for you. They mean business.
You got those. He's got it's just noodles, Michael. It's okay. There you go.
He's waiting this whole time.
Very clever. Very clever.
Very, very cool, man. You enjoying those maggots there, Brian?
Yeah, they're delicious. Full of protein.
That the Lost Boys played 2 years ago at the local drive-in theater back in my hometown in Strasbourg, John.
The Lynn twin.
Yep, the Lynn, and it was fantastic to get to see up on the big screen at a drive-in. It was really super cool. I really enjoyed it. Had a fantastic time.
And Don and I, after we saw that, we went and trestle jumped. Yeah, it was a blast.
Also true. Yes, we did.
The
Kevin,
twist with Max
you missed
at
out.
the end is awesome.
Yeah.
The twist with the end with Max is always awesome.
Yeah, I agree.
Especially the fact that he got you. They ran a test that didn't work, and they think, oh, okay, he's not it. And but then again, he did give a little teaser that he may be the person they were looking for when he talked about being invited in.
Okay, speaking of a little teaser, how about some hot sauce later? House Hot Sauce is coming at you. Free hot sauce giveaway coming soon tonight. Stay on the podcast. Don't leave, or you're going to be out of luck.
So Corey Haim has made it twice on this list tonight.
Yes.
And Corey Feldman, too, for all intents and purposes.
Gary Busey and the Cripple, and now Lost Boys, yes.
Ward Director, I cannot agree more. Reanimator is absolutely masterful. It's such a good series, such a good film. Batshit crazy, as John said, but it's very good. Yeah, so definitely worth seeing, guys.
You said mention Lost Boys, though. You got to talk about Tim Capello, and I Still Believe. Like that is dude. That song is still
saxophone. Yeah.
It's on my playlist, man. I'm at the gym and just jamming to it, having a good time. Like,
so you play the sax with your shirt off, in front of people?
I do not know. No, we're not doing that. But I will jam out to the song though, all the time, man. It's a good time there.
Frank says, "I like the scene with the Chinese food in The Lost Boys." Well, so does Brian.
Yep.
Amy loves that. Go ahead.
Be creative, of course.
Chris says, have we added Attack of the Killer Tomatoes yet? No, I don't believe we have.
No.
Sorry. No. And they do look like all different versions of Billy Idol.
A couple of them, yeah.
I would say Billy Idol and maybe Billy Cyrus. They kind of...
Oh, there are some mullets rocking in there, too.
Yeah.
We actually we couldn't add Attack of the Killer Tomatoes even if we wanted to. That would have been last week's show. In the 70s, the first one.
It's true.
They did that 80s version too. What was it? Oh, jeez. Was it Return of the Killer Tomatoes? I believe was the 80s one.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
I think you're right. Well, to soothe our wounded pride, we're going to go with number 6 on the list, American Werewolf in London.
Yes. Dude, in my opinion, the best werewolf transformation on screen.
Okay, it was until they made American Werewolf in Paris. Have you not seen that movie?
Oh,
that
come
movie's...
on now. Come on. Don't be silly. Don't be silly.
I have, but my thing is that was one of those things where you got the it wasn't CGI'd. It was practical effects. It was done really, really well. Just the way that they would show, like, dude, it would suck to have to turn into a werewolf because it looks like it hurts like hell. Like,
Sure.
It's not a very a fun process whatsoever.
Did it hurt in The Howling as well, which came out around the same time? Did it hurt that guy?
Yeah. The bubbling of his forehead was like the nastiest part of that whole thing in The Howling. Yeah. Oh, man. But to me, that's the best transformation on screen that I've ever seen.
You know, in a way, I don't feel sorry for this guy because he was a jerk. He left this guy left his friend for dead. He's running away when he's being attacked, and then decides that he goes back, and then it's like, come on, man, it's too late. You got your boy killed. Mm-hmm. And on top of that, they should have stayed at the pub.
Listen, when a creepy group of townspeople that you don't know tell you to stay on the moors, you
listen. Listen.
Yeah.
Matter of fact,
they're trying to help you.
Not only do you stay on the road, you go back to the pub until daylight. That's what you do.
Yes. The fact that, like, every time he would dream, per se, and he would see his friend, I love that he would get progressively worse as time went on.
He would use the cane every time he saw him. He'd get the cane.
Yeah, I love that, man. And it's not the first time that John Landis has dealt with werewolves, because he also was part of Thriller when Michael Jackson was a werewolf in the video.
That's exactly why he got hired. Michael Jackson hired him to do the video because of this movie.
Yeah, dude, like, it's not your. Look at his resume, Coming to America, stuff like that. You look at those types of movies.
He does have a dark one too, though, that unfortunately he should be in prison for, in my opinion. She should have been convicted, as we know.
Wait, which one?
Twilight Zone. His segment of the Twilight Zone, he was fully responsible for what happened there.
Yeah, no, you're right. That's a very controversial one there, for sure.
Very, 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 very. Yeah.
For some reason, my brain forgot that he was part of that, and you're right, 100%. Yeah.
Maria says, so good, definitely in my top 5 horror. Anita says, The Howling was much better. I don't know about that.
I like The Howling, but I don't think it's on the same level as American Werewolf. But that's just my opinion, though.
Hey, it's Joe Dante versus John Landis. You know who?
It's true. It's true.
That's true.
All right, so we have our next contender here. Now we're hitting into the top 5 territory. So what a nice way to get into the top 5 by mentioning none other than one Mr. Bruce Campbell, Sam Raimi, little favorite here. We're talking... Oh, you thought we were going to say The Evil Dead? No, we're talking The Evil Dead 2, Dead by Dawn.
Here we go. You see, we always have that debate between the first and second one.
There's no debate. It's always going to be the second one. Second one's the best.
I won't lie. I was happy to see the second one on the list over the first one, too. I'm not going to lie, because...
What's wrong with you people?
I like the original, don't get me wrong, but I think the second one was basically the original redone. Mm-hmm. It just was more stuff added. Yeah. And I think it was done better than the first one, but that's just my opinion.
I think any time that you make a film or make anything and then you remake it, like, you're going to improve on some steps. Like, there's things that you learned and that you're going to do better. And I felt like Evil Dead 2 hit all of that. They let Bruce Campbell be Bruce Campbell. They said, let's give him the personality he deserves. And he was like, okay, I'm going to take this and run with it. And by God, he did. He ran like a motherfucker. Like, he ran. This is a excellent film and an excellent franchise. You can't say it's trash because it spawned 2 sequels and a
TV series,
television series that lasted multiple seasons. So, credit where credit is due.
Video game. 2 video games.
Yeah, 2 at least.
And the newer one that just came out last year, I believe. So
and it got Sam Raimi Sam Raimi his job as the Spider-Man director. Because when I first saw these movies, I said, you know what, he'd be a good director for Spider-Man. Because I love the way his angles were. The way he played his camera placement, I think he'd be the perfect person to do a Spider-Man movie. So I was so happy when he got hired.
Mm-hmm.
They've actually got a new one coming out next year. Evil Dead Rise, I believe it's called. So yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know, man. Raimi says it's really good. Bruce Campbell's backing it too. So I don't know. It did really good at test screenings too.
Yeah, but they
it was
liked the
supposed to
last
just,
one, and I thought the last one was hot trash. You know?
It was interesting. It was weird how they did the ending.
Like, there was some stuff in that was, it was edgier, tense, crazy
Yeah.
moments.
The tongue scene, man.
Yeah, razor blade split.
Yeah.
I don't need to see that, though. No, I'm good. I don't need to see that. Why do I need that in my life?
So don't watch the new Hellraiser
Yes.
then, buddy.
Yeah, no, I'm not. I proudly have never
yeah.
seen any of them because I know better.
Oh no.
I know my area, and I stick to it. Like, I don't...
I can't take like needless gore and a lot of stuff anymore, but those
Right.
the Hellraiser movies, I can go back and watch those all day long. I don't know, it doesn't bother me. But
Chris says it right. Chris says he's the Indiana Jones of horror. That's a pretty good way to say it. Like,
Bruce Campbell.
yeah.
It's a good comparison. Yeah.
Let's see. Anita says, yes, 2 was awesome, but the first was hilarious. Linda dancing in the woods, the trees. Look, those both scared the shit out of me, Anita. I don't know what the hell you're talking about. This was last week.
Thank you, Anita. You're a wise woman.
Chris can't wait to see the new Hellraiser. Oh, that's good.
was it the first one that hit Sam's brother Ted broke? Was that nose, face, neck, something like that on the front of a four-wheeler for one of the opening scenes? He had the camera like strapped to his head, and he was like on the front of the four-wheeler to get that oh my god, not Cenobite, Necro, what were they called? The demons.
The Deadites?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was supposed to be the view of the Deadites, but yeah, it was Ted on a four-wheeler.
Oh, jeez, poor Ted. Well, that was... Go ahead.
Yeah, Ted was actually the granny under the stairs too. They threw him in the suit to be the granny.
He has died some very crazy deaths over the years in movies. Some
He really
crazy death
has.
scenes.
He really has.
Yeah.
Clint Howard, too, right? Which is Ron Howard's brother.
Oh, yeah. Clint Howard, Ice Cream Man. That's all I got to say. Like, that's just... Anytime I think of Clint Howard, it's Ice Cream Man. And I love that movie. I'm not ashamed to admit to it. I love it. I can't help it.
And last thing I got to say, this is a fun little thing. I got to meet, was it Tom Sullivan? I believe is his name. He's the art director.
Yeah.
He's actually responsible for creating all the Book of the Dead, the dagger, all the artwork. We got to meet him at a convention, and he was taking us through the special features of the DVD of Evil Dead 2. And there's Deadite language written in the back of it. He informed us that actually translates to the phone number to the White House. So he told us how to cipher that and to tell them, like, give them a piece of our mind. So, yeah.
That's cool.
Did you meet him at Cinema Wasteland in Cleveland? Was that where you saw him?
Yes.
Yeah. I got to see him a few times out there. Dude, his like little museum of stuff is awesome.
Did he give you
So cool,
chocolates? Did he do that bet with you?
No.
He was always handing out Hershey's Kisses because they were good to make you poop. Keep you regular. But yeah, he was a trip.
Okay. Pooping for... you eat a little piece of poop-looking thing to poop. Okay. Nothing wrong with that. Maria says...
Comes out the same way it went in. You know? Same shape.
The wrapper.
I like them both
Right.
for different reasons, but the second one is more fun. Chris says, let's see, I can't wait to see new Hellraiser. Nita says, 2 was awesome, but the first one was hilarious. And I walked home through the woods, stoned after seeing for the first time. Okay.
Oh, no. I can only imagine what you thought was in those woods after
Right?
that. Because,
Yeah. And number 4 on the list, by the way, it's Nightmare on Elm Street. I've had it up on the screen. Chris 2K says Nightmare on Elm Street should be number 1 in my opinion. Well, you're wrong. I'm sorry. And Amy,
Funny you mentioned that.
Kevin's list was perfect, everybody. I don't know if anybody knew that Kevin's list was perfect, and we should all have gone according to that list. I'm sorry, Kevin, that you didn't get what you wanted.
No one ever gets what they want.
Can I put my foot in my mouth for just a second, though?
Sure.
And say that I love Nightmare on Elm Street. 100% love it. I think it's a great installment into the series. Obviously, the first one, but my all-time favorite will always be Nightmare on Elm Street Part 3.
See, Dream Warriors.
Yeah,
Dream Warriors is awesome.
Feel free, talk about that one.
Let's not count Part 2 because I think it's awful. Sadly, as a follow-up to the first one, Part 2 was a terrible follow-up.
It's different.
Yeah, thankfully they brought it back with Part 3 because it just, man, there was so much good about that movie. Like I will, that's forever going to be my favorite in the whole series. I love the first one though. Don't get me wrong. I absolutely love the first movie. Obviously we're introduced to Freddy Krueger for the first time, and it's a very cool and interesting type of character, you know, and he progressively gets more told about him as the series goes on. But Kevin, come on, I want to hear what you got to say, man. Let me have it on that.
About Dream Warriors? First of all,
first
of all, Dream Warriors is an interesting concept because you actually have a team of people who have these dreamlike powers, and also, in some respects, being led by Nancy from the first movie to take on Freddy. And then Freddy had to get smart too. He had to try to play a divide and conquer tactics because obviously, if they were all together at once, he'd be in trouble. So he was very smart. I was rewatching the movie like a month ago. Like, man, he's really smart because because what he does is he attacks your greatest fears. So the guy in the wheelchair in his dreams, he's like a Harry Potter wannabe wizard, and of course that's the famous line, "Sorry, kid, I don't believe in fairy tales," you know, and he kills him. The drug addict, you know, she's like, "Let's get high," you know, and it just I mean, it's just crazy. But the sixth movie, you had some really smart people in there. Freddy's Dead: The Final Nightmare. Yeah. You had Doc, played by the late great Yaphet Kotto.
Yes.
And he taught how to handle dreams. Like, okay, remember, you're in control. Don't show the fear, and you can beat them.
Yep.
And, you know, it came through really well. So that's really the key to Freddy Krueger. You really have to get through those mind games. You cannot be afraid of what he throws at you. You can't show any fear. You cannot let him get in your head. If you can do that, he has no power. He has no power.
Right, and the fact that you can bring him out of the dream and then he loses all of that. Which is one of the coolest things that you learned in that movie. Like, okay, if you bring him out of here, you don't have a reason to be scared of him because he can't do anything to you. Yep. You know, and the famous kill in Part 3. Well, there's two that are really, really good, but my top favorite would be when he puts the girl through the TV screen, and of course the famous line,
"Prime time, bitch."
That's right.
Yes, yeah. And the scene where he's got the guy's veins out like that, and he's like the puppet, and then he cuts him and he falls off the dude. Those are two of the best death scenes in Part 3. But I know we're talking about the original. How about when she's running up the steps and it looks like marshmallows in the steps?
Yeah,
it's so cool.
Or actually, Johnny Depp's death scene. Glenn's death scene.
Oh yeah.
Thank God they kept that, because the original intention was for the body to come out later on. The best part was to leave it as it is, where your imagination is like, oh my God, what just happened to this guy? All that blood just up out of the bed. I mean, that is horrific.
Dude, we got to see Johnny Depp the bed instead of Amber Heard the bed.
Oh,
that's true.
That's true. That's very true.
Even the scene with Tina when she's floating, you know, up on the ceiling and stuff, and all, dude, that was awesome, man. Done so well, man.
Okay,
and Robert Englund.
The stretched arms coming down the hallway.
Oh, yes, dude, yes.
There's only one bad scene in the entire movie, and it's not even Wes Craven's fault. Robert Shea made him put it in. It's the very end.
Which one?
The mom getting sucked through the door.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because it looks super fake, yeah.
Yeah, he was pissed. He did not want to do that, but they made him do it.
Yeah, right. I remember that. Eugenio says, as a kid, I called Freddy El Ha-Ha. L-ah-ah-ah, because of the way he laughed.
Well, wait, he's like the Count?
I guess. Chris says Nightmare on Elm Street should be number 1. Amy says those movies made me stay awake all night, LOL. Chris also says 1, 2, Freddy's coming for you. 3, 4, you better lock your door. 5, 6, grab your crucifix. 7, 8, you better stay up late. 9, 10, Freddy's back again.
And John, Alice. We never saw Alice again. You know, she should have been in Freddy's Death: The Final Nightmare, but we never saw her again.
I think there was so much talk of doing that. And it was the same thing with like Friday the 13th. They wanted to always bring back the survivors. Yeah.
They kept changing. Yeah. They did have them in the original draft, but they kept changing. They had like Freddy vs. Jason, had her and had Tommy from Friday the 13th. And I'm like, why didn't they keep that draft? But they Made a lot of changes.
Now, if you were to do that real quick, just because you talked about it, would you rather have Corey Feldman or would you have Tom Matthews? I would go Corey myself, because that's the original,
True.
Tommy Jarvis.
Although Tom Matthews looks more physically like he could, take him on, so to speak.
Right.
So either one, to be honest with you, either way.
Okay.
But I really wanted to see Alice in Freddy's Dead: The Final Nightmare with those other characters. It would have been so good.
Yeah.
Dream Master teaming up with his daughter would have been awesome.
Yep.
All right, number 3. I'm sorry we have to keep moving here on this.
That's all right.
Number 3 is a Kurt Russell classic, and you better get your diabetes checked and get it checked often. We are talking about the 1982 sci-fi horror,
which is a
more
remake.
horror than anything, called
Yes,
The
it
Thing.
It's a remake. Yeah.
Want some fun trivia real quick on this one? If
go
you
ahead.
watch Halloween '78, you can see the kids watching The Thing from the other world.
1950s.
Yes, sir. Directed by Howard Hawks, and later directed by the same man who directed Halloween '78. Just saying. Just wanted to throw that out there, Mr. John Carpenter, of course. If you didn't know that, that's who that is. I'm probably gonna get beat up for this. I will say that I like The Thing very much so. It's almost like you can relate this to a wrestling locker room. Like, who could you trust?
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty much what this movie's about. Who can you trust?
In this case, you try. It's like Stone Cold Steve Austin's "Don't Trust Anyone."
Right, dude. I would probably set half my locker room on fire, and I know who would be the Thing. It wouldn't be me because I don't do that. But I'm just saying I would know who would be in charge.
Right.
But I would have to say I kind of like They Live a little more than this one. But that's just my opinion, though.
You know what? And that was missing from this list too, man. I really wanted They Live on here, but hey,
I wanted to put it on mine too, man. And I just literally I couldn't. I ran out of room.
Yeah, it's hard to add something like that. It's good, it's solid, but it's not The Thing. You know what I mean? It's not there.
And maybe it's considered more sci-fi in some respects too, I guess.
True. No,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably because it's more alien than anything. So the horror takes a back seat at times.
But if this makes you feel better, we're actually doing a poster mock-up for one of our hot sauces with They Live. It's going to be called They Burn. So it'll be a movie
Nice.
version of that. So it'll make
Nice. That's awesome.
necessarily you.
Now, as far as The Thing's concerned, I think the reason why it ranks so high is because you just don't know. You don't know who has your best interests in mind and who's going to murder you, like who's going to try to make you become one of them, in other words. And you just don't know. And that unknowing, I think, is what's the big killer. Like, you can't trust anybody, really. And that it's important.
You're super paranoid.
Right. It's important to have trust. And when you don't have that, it's tough. So
Especially
that puts it
when
at
you're
number 3.
Antarctica. Especially in Antarctica. Like, it's really
Right.
scary.
Have you ever heard the great debate about the ending of that, though?
What was the great debate?
Do you think one of them was The Thing, and which one was it? That's always been the great debate of that. Like, which one do you think of them was The Thing at the end of the movie? Because neither of them trusted each other. Let's be honest.
Mm-hmm.
So one of them had to have been The Thing. They just never. Obviously, the movie ended like that.
Right.
So, you guys think one of them
I
was?
say Kurt Russell. I'll go with Kurt Russell.
You think so?
Yeah, I go with this character.
I kind of always swayed toward Keith David in a way, because I felt like. But then again, maybe it was expected too, though. So yeah, I mean, it's hard to say. But I've always swayed more towards him. But
I've always thought it could have been Keith David if it was anybody. Out of the two of them, it would be Keith David.
what do you think, Brian? What do you think, man?
I think I'm putting the board game in my cart on Amazon right now.
Oh,
Nice.
I did see that. Yeah.
Version of that right now.
Reza says, my girlfriend is playing Nancy in Nightmare on Elm Street 3 Dream Warriors, a musical parody. It's out next weekend. It's a theatrical production.
What? Are you
Hell
serious?
I don't know if he's kidding.
Okay,
It's Reza, so.
Listen, I want to hear somebody sing "Welcome to Prime Time, Bitch." Like, I want to hear that song. Someone get me a recording of that. I want to hear that. I want to hear that musical number big time, man. Yes. Yes.
All right, number 2. This is a big one.
Yeah.
This one, The Simpsons classically parodied and made hilarious fun of. And we are talking about the 1980 Kubrick film starring Jack Nicholson. We are talking about The Shining. Again, this is another psychological type horror film. So it does have its own kind of a class to it that it brings. Its own gravitas. And it's excellent. You watch it. If you haven't seen it in a long time, watch it again, because it only gets better with age, I feel.
Have you seen the documentary?
No.
Yes.
Yeah, Kubrick's daughter was like doing a documentary, you know, behind the scenes, and boy, Shelley Duvall was being driven crazy by Stanley Kubrick. Stanley Kubrick was just all over her.
Yeah, dude, he was awful to her, man. No wonder why she's got PTSD now. Like, she's
she
like,
talks
all
about that. She said that movie messed her up.
Yeah.
Working with Kubrick messed her up.
Mm-hmm.
He was like a complete asshole to her the whole time. It was kind of sad to see, but he was, I don't know what it was
Like,
about her.
Shelley, you're holding up everything. Everyone's busting her. You're holding up everything, Shelley. But I didn't hear it. She's smoking like frantically. I was like, jeez.
That's probably why she was nervous as hell. Poor woman. Man, nah, that's crazy, dude. But there's so many iconic scenes in this movie, though. So many that are memorable that but let's be honest now, if you're in a hotel room or a hotel itself and you're walking down the hallway and it's quiet, what's the first thing you're going to see?
Two little girls. They're twins.
Thank you. Exactly. And they're not going to be there, but you're going to see them regardless of where you're at. That's just how that scene is, man.
And also blood somehow pouring profusely from an elevator.
Yeah. Yes.
That's common, though. That happens all the time.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I've seen that a couple times. So,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
But Brian touched on it, too, though.
That always happens. Yeah.
Was it room 237? You got to tell him what's in there, Brian, because that was some creepy stuff, too, man.
Oh, yeah. The dead, rotting woman in the bathtub that gets out and comes after him. Yeah. Fun times.
Oh, yeah. Not if you're him at that point, but yes, definitely fun times. And of course, the most iconic scene of the whole entire movie, here's Johnny. I mean, who doesn't know that? Like, I mean, come on, man. If you don't know that, where have you been? That's what I want to know. Because that's just, you don't even have to see The Shining to know that's where that came from.
Well, he wanted to be he was talking about Johnny Carson. He was a big fan.
Right. Right. And, all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy. So, hey, what else can you say?
That's true. That's
very, very true.
And the maze at the end and the just the subtleties that they added in with everything is just so fantastically well done. The bartender that he had the conversations with. And
yes. Dude, Scatman Crothers was great in that too, by the way.
Oh, man.
I love him. I love him in Twilight Zone, the movie, too. I love him in The Kick the Can. I by the way, just for talking about him, I love him in that, too.
And if you're a big fan of 70s cartoons, Hong Kong Phooey.
He was also great.
Yes.
Scavenger Hunt.
The #1 super guy, Hong Kong Phooey, yes.
Scavenger Hunt, I believe, came out in 79, if I recall. 79 or 81, I can't remember which.
There's a really amazing thing that happens every end of the year, beginning of the year, around New Year's. A band called Murder by Death out of Louisville, Kentucky now. They actually do a 3 to 4 day concert in the Overlook hotel where that movie was shot. They recreate the scene from The Shining in the ballroom or the dance hall.
Wow.
They do it in black and white. They have everybody dress up in like tuxes and that attire, and they take a picture every year with those groups. But yeah, Murder by Death, they recreate The Shining in concert basically without all the murder and twins.
Some of that's happened
awesome.
to you. They just don't show it to you.
Yeah.
That's cool, though, man.
That's really cool. I really like that. That's neat.
What did you guys think of Dr. Sleep as a follow-up? What did you think of that?
I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I thought it was really, really good.
See, I liked it too. No, you didn't like it, Donald? No.
Yeah, didn't like it at all. I was bored.
So Obi-Wan Kenobi couldn't do it for you. Ewan McGregor.
No, Kevin, how did you like it?
I haven't seen it yet. I'm just asking.
Oh, that's right. You didn't even watch the damn thing. Wow. I guess we're moving on. #1 on the list. Kevin, have you seen this one?
Yes, I have. And although I don't agree, I don't believe it deserves to be #1. It deserves to be in the top 5 or 6, but
5, 4,
it is
3.
It is what it is. It is the 1985 classic, Fright Night.
Tom Holland will be proud. In fact,
Chris
Tom,
Sarandon.
you need to watch this. I'm going to tell Tom all about this. I'm going to recommend that he check out at least the last couple minutes so we can just blubber over the greatness that is Fright Night, because it's fantastic.
Greatest vampire movie of all time, in my opinion. I love it. Love this movie.
It's really good. You have the is he isn't he type factor going on in your head at first because you're not quite sure. Like, is this guy a vampire? You know, is this kid kind of crazy or stupid or what's going on? And then once they reveal that he is, and then it's like becomes this cat and mouse of him with the boy, and you're like, oh shit. Mm-hmm. Like he knows now, and he's gonna fuck with him.
It's his fault though. That's what you get for being nosy.
I mean, that's true too. You're right. You kind of can't feel bad for Charlie in a way because you're right. He listen. You could have just left well enough alone. He gave you an option, like he said. I'm giving you something that I've never given anyone else.
A choice.
That's a choice. Exactly.
You wanted to be stupid.
And you decided to blow that. So then he's going to torture you and he's going to kill you eventually. He goes after your girlfriend. He goes after your best friend.
Yep.
He's gonna kill your favorite horror TV host, and all this other stuff, all because you had to be a nosy ass.
Yep.
Leave well enough alone. Listen, if I look out my window right now and there's a vampire next door, guess what? He can stay there. I don't give a shit. Stay right there. It's okay.
That's right.
That's fine with me. Just don't come over here talking shit.
And
I'm
guess
not gonna
what?
let you in the door either.
And if he calls you up on the phone and he's like, "Hey, did you see anything, Devin?" You know what,
Nope.
sir? I didn't see a thing. I don't know what you're doing.
I didn't see shit.
What you're doing, and that's it. No, we're cool. We're cool, right? Okay.
One of the the best parts of that whole movie too is when he ends up at the house and she says, "Oh, I didn't want you to meet Jerry," and he goes, "Oh, I'll probably come by, anytime I feel like it."
Yep.
With your mother's kind permission, of course.
Mm-hmm.
He's already been invited into the house, man. He's coming back. He's coming.
That's right.
I mean, dude, he was. And then there's been vampires in countless other movies.
Right.
But I would put Chris Sarandon up there, man, in like the top tier of top vampires because he just played the role so well.
Yeah.
He was a believable vampire, and like whether he was full garb in his whole thing or just himself, you just played a really good vampire. And you can't top Roddy McDowall. He was perfect.
God, yeah. And the remake, I think, even kind of nailed certain aspects of it that I really enjoyed. It's one of those rare ones where I like the original, but I also appreciate the remake. So I'll give it to him on that. Oh, I enjoyed the hell out of it.
You like Doctor Who playing the role of
David Tennant?
Yeah, David Tennant playing the role of the host.
I couldn't do it, man. Watching that. So Stephen Jeffries, obviously Evil Ed. And then you took McLovin and you made him Evil Ed, and I was like, oh no, don't do that. Don't do that. It just ruined it for me. I didn't like what the hell's his name?
Colin Farrell.
Thank you. I didn't like his. To me, he was.
You like his Jerry?
Boring.
You like his Jerry?
No, the highlight of that whole movie for me, I'm not gonna lie to you, was an hour and 30 minutes into it was seeing Chris Sarandon. I was like, oh, hey, it's the best part of the whole movie. Oh, and they killed him. Never mind, I'm done now. Like I don't want to watch this anymore. Like that was it for me. I was so happy to see Chris Sarandon. I was like, yes, that's Jerry. That's not Jerry. This is garbage.
Jerry's gone now.
Yeah, I couldn't do it, man. I just that is the troll 2 of my existence in life. Like
wow. Wow, that's really saying something. Jeez. All right, so I'm going to send you a copy for your birthday. I got it.
Oh, see, thank you, man. I appreciate that.
Yeah, no problem.
Thank you so much.
And I don't know when it is, so I'll just keep sending copies all the time. I will
burn it. I will burn it just to make sure it's not the thing. Just to make sure, with a little fire on it, just to make sure,
Janet,
sure, right?
Yeah, Janet says Critters was so fun. Critters was not on the list. Some of the others that were not on the list, guys, go ahead and shout out some that did not make it.
Ghoulies. Love Ghoulies. Troll.
Mm-hmm.
Bad Taste. Puppet Master.
Yes. Kevin, you said it already. Oh, man, what did you say earlier? Then it hit me was Sleepaway Camp didn't make the list.
Is Sleepaway Camp? April Fool's Day. April Fool's Day.
Alien 2. Or Alien.
So many movies. This is the hardest choice.
It's the hardest decade. It's the most difficult decade.
So tough.
This was a tough one. That's why we did 25 instead of 20. Normally we would just do 20.
Janet brought up Cat's Eye.
That's why we've run so long.
Yes.
Monster Squad.
So let's get into doing this hot sauce giveaway. We did do Child's Play already. Ultraman Magnus. He did make the list. He was like number 9 or 10, 8. Number 9.
Number 9. Yep.
So Fright Night. Maria says Death Spa. Yes, that didn't make the list, Maria.
Wow. There's one you don't hear of all the time.
Seriously, how did Evil Bong not make this list?
Oh, sorry, man.
Ginger Dead Man.
Well, those were what? Those were. Was it?
Yeah, those were
90,
new.
early 2000. I want to say. I think. Well, Ginger Dead Man though, Gary Busey. There you go. I mean, he's a killer cookie. What more could you ask for? And Gary Busey's the perfect guy to play that. I mean,
Yep.
Come on.
And there was a
Sure.
crippled cookie in a wheelchair. So
See, there you go. And then you got Gary Busey and the Cripple Kid. It all comes back to that.
My Bloody Valentine.
See, dude, that was
All right.
on my list.
Okay,
That was on my
Kevin,
list.
do you have the wheel?
Yeah, give me some names.
All right, everybody that is here that wants to be entered in the hot sauce contest for your first pick, which will be the bottle of Killer Pickle. This is the runner-up prize. The one bottle of Killer Pickle. Look at that. It's cool.
I have one more movie that didn't make it that made me very sad.
What's that?
Motel Hell. I love that movie.
Uh,
Love Motel Hell.
Maria and I almost watched it last night, and then we watched my best friend's Exorcism instead.
Oh, how was that?
which
I
was-
actually want to see that. Is it decent?
It's
No.
not great, but it's not terrible, but it's not great.
Okay.
There's some interesting things that they could have done much better, but it's,
Okay.
Little Shop of Horrors did not make the list, Ultraman Magnus.
The
No.
Burning. The Burning. That's another underrated.
Yeah.
All right, Kevin.
Propsy, man.
Names:
Brain
Enrique.
Yes.
yeah, Brain Dead should have.
Oh yeah, it was on my list. Mom and Dad.
All right. Enrique, Mom and Dad. All right.
Maria.
Oh,
Maria.
Amy.
Mm-hmm.
Reza.
Reza.
Ultraman Magnus.
Mm-hmm.
Anita.
Mm-hmm.
Janet.
Mm-hmm.
Chris.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, how many names is that?
It's like 8 right
Still, I think, yeah.
Okay, so we've got a lot more people viewing than we have saying that they're here. So
Reza's here.
He
Sammy.
did.
Isn't Sammy still here?
I'm not sure. If you are here and you are interested in winning hot sauce, please say here and we will put you on the wheel. If not,
Can we take bets on who we think's gonna win? Because I'm
Yeah.
going with Mom and Dad on this one.
are you?
Mom and Dad all the way on this one.
That
Okay.
would be conspiratorial and
Oh.
Chicago
It's one of those
Rob.
things
Rob
where-
Antis is here, Kevin.
Bob's in the house. All right.
Yep.
no, I want Mom and Dad to win on the 4-pack, so I don't have to pay as much shipping.
There you go.
I'm going back to my maggots for a second. I'm actually
Ah,
hungry.
there you go.
Okay,
Watch
here
me
we go.
struggle.
Kevin, you got everybody's name in there. Spin that wheel.
All right. Here we go.
We drinking a candle there, Don, or what is that?
Yes, candle wax. I love drinking candle wax. It's delicious.
All right. So you want me to text the winner to you or to Johnny?
Doesn't matter. Either way.
All right.
Well, he's on his phone, so just text it to me, I guess.
Or Johnny. Or fine. I'll text it to you. Whatever.
Okay. Let me know when you get there, old man.
Got so many names on my phone, man. I'm sorry.
And this is for the
Sending it snail mail.
Killer Pickle giveaway.
All right. You got it.
Okay, I have the text coming in. Let me add a little ambiance.
Can I do it Johnny Carson style?
How's that? Is that loud enough? Can everybody hear it? Nobody can hear anything? Okay. So we have the winner. You guys ready?
Yes.
Everybody ready? The winner of the bottle of Killer Pickle Hot Sauce is Rob Antis. Rob Antis, congratulations. We will do a DJ party horn for you.
Beep, beep, beep.
Burp, burp, burp.
Beep, beep, beep.
There it is.
So, congratulations, Rob. You have won the Killer Pickle Hot Sauce. Boom. Congratulations. So that goes to Rob Antis. Rob, reach out to us. Remind us so we can get this to you. Pop Fly Pop Shop. Hello. Thanks for popping in. That was great. Yes, Rob says, holy shit. Rob's super stoked. Rez is clapping. And let's move on. Let's go. Let's do it. We've got... obviously, Rob's not going to be able to win again, so we got to take his name off the list, so we got to re-roll the dice.
All right, let me go.
Oh, you're welcome, Rob. And I hope you enjoy, buddy. Hope you enjoy your bottle of hot sauce.
Yep, this next giveaway is for 4 bottles. You get Killer Kiwi, Killer Pickle, more Cowbell, and then you get the even hotter Killer Pickle X.
Okay,
wow.
Spin the wheel. I'll be right back.
All right. Spinning.
This is not for the weak of heart or weak of palate. This will light you up while tasting delicious.
All right. We have our winner. I'm waiting for Donald to pop back in.
Got to build that tension.
That's right. The anticipation.
I got to say, a lot of those stills of Goldblum in The Fly kind of made me think of Dr. Frankenfurter.
A little bit. Yeah, a little bit.
I think the same makeup artist did both of them.
Possible. You never know. So you guys are covering 90s next week, right?
Yes, sir, we are.
Whew. And there's a hell of a one to start with. The TV miniseries, that's a perfect one to put on there,
Also, one of my personal favorites, Candyman.
Ah, yes. You can't
good.
forget that one. Can't forget that, man.
I mean, think how scary that experience is. You look in the mirror and you're thinking multiple times, should I even dare call anyone's name for that matter? Not just his name, anybody's name.
I remember watching that as a teenager, and a friend of mine, we watched it, and we thought we were tough, man. We went to the mirror. We got to 4, and then we hit the ground and started crawling back to the living room because there was another mirror on the way back. And we were like, I don't want to chance it. So we just got right back in there and got the hell out of the way.
You see some big dude who's very finely dressed with a hook. That's a bad way to go.
Cracked balls? Is that what this is?
Yeah, I think I'm going to have to join in. If Don's doing some stuff, I'm going to have to do some Reaper cheese balls, too.
I'm going to do a hot sauce that I was told when I originally bought it from Brian. I thought, this will be a delightful, slightly tart, slightly sweet, fruity flavored hot sauce. And then he told me, oh, no, it's hot. And I went, oh, okay. I can do it. Yeah, that's what I intended to do. It wasn't. So I'm going to try this. A small spoonful of his hot sauce called the Old Razzle Dazzle.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's Grigsby Rasputin there on the cover of the bottle. That's Rasputin giving the old razzle dazzle. So, yeah.
So on the hot meter, how hot is that?
It's about a 6 out of 10. It's a red raspberry, blackberry, and lemon drop. Hot sauce with honey. It's very desserty. Lemon drops have a pretty good citrusy punch that sit for a while. It's enjoyable, but yeah, it's a little warm. And I'm doing 6 crack balls. Okay, this is gonna suck. A lot of powder.
And those are, you said Carolina Reaper, right?
Yeah, these are Carolina Reaper cheese balls. They are like crack. You don't have to transport them in your orifices, and you won't get arrested for these. But they are like crack.
Okay, ready?
Yes.
Let us laugh. Here we go.
I can see the heat on his face right now.
That's just slightly above medium you got there, Don. That one's great. Cheesecake, ice cream, chicken and waffles, Monte Cristos.
Yep. It'd be good with ice cream right now.
He looks like the Incredible Melting Man right now.
Yeah, there's ice cream to have.
The last one you did on the stream was Killer Kiwi. That one was way hotter. That was
right?
Carolina Reaper.
Yeah, see, I'm not hiccuping right now, so I survived. See, I did fine.
So you don't get the discount.
I did fine.
Uh-oh.
I did
What's
fine.
he doing now? Oh, he's just cleaning
Just
it
gonna have a cracker. Mmm. That does pair well with it.
You haven't worked in retail for a long time. Your tolerance is not high.
I know, it's been a bit. Okay. Wow. Chris says my mouth is literally watering right now. No joke. As it should.
Well, we got a winner on the 4-pack, too.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I sent you the text.
Let me pull it up. We have a winner. Oh, my God.
Somebody's
I'm so
mouth
sorry.
is about to water even more right now with this 4-pack.
Well, we have a winner. That winner of the 4-pack of hot sauces is none other than Reza. You won, sir. You win 4 different hot sauces, my friend. Burp, burp, burp. I hope you enjoy them. My lord. Yes, I hope you enjoy them because that no cowbell or more cowbell, I mean. For me, it's no cowbell because I probably shouldn't have it. But for you, it's more cowbell. And it is delightful, but it is hot. So I hope you enjoy, buddy. Yes, Reza, no way. Yes, you won. So Reza and Rob, R won this evening. The hot sauces. I'm going to play a little rain in the background. There we go. That's nice. Isn't that nice, everybody? Isn't that rain just lovely? I know you guys probably can't hear it, but the audience can. And I just want to tell you a spooky story before we leave for the evening. Once upon a time, there was a young boy named Kevin. Kevin didn't eat all of his food every night before he went to bed. And his mom said, Kevin, someday, if you don't eat your food, you're going to be friends with a boy like this. And she pointed to a picture, and that photograph was me. And to this day, I've haunted Kevin for 17 years now because he failed to eat all of his veggies on his plate. Let that be a lesson to every one of you.
Let that be a lesson. Yeah, let that be a lesson.
Let that be a lesson. There we go. There we go. Well, thank you all. Brian, thanks for being on and for handing out the hot sauce, man. That was awesome. We gave away a 4-pack. We gave away some killer pickle, some more cowbell, and some more deliciousness. I got my heat tolerance checked, and I think I did all right. I mean, I only had 1 cracker. I did fine. Brian had balls in his mouth. Kevin also had balls in his mouth, but not on screen, and they weren't the same kind in a bag like that. So I digress. John, thank you for being on. John has a podcast called The Horror Guys, so please feel free to check that out. In fact, we demand that you do so.
Yes.
Check it out. Go to...
What he said.
Yes, go to any podcast platform. You can find him primarily. If you can't, let him know. Reach out to him, let him know. They'll get on there. Brian's website, halfshotsauce.com. If you go to halfshotsauce.com and you type in the coupon code Donald Hiccups, you get 10% off your order. Go right now, guys. This actually, while spicy, yes, was quite delicious. Very robust, very, very nice flavor. Very fruit forward. Extremely tasty. I agree with Brian 100%. It'll go good on ice cream. It'll go good on a lot of things, and scones and things like that. I have some Welsh cakes. I might put some on this on the Welsh cakes tomorrow, and I'll have that for lunch. So that sounds pretty nice. So thanks again. Thanks to everybody out there in podcast land watching us and listening to us. We are the Real Short Box Live. And if we don't see you out and about anytime soon, perhaps we'll see you.
And before I say that, please subscribe, tell your friends, and please leave a like. We love you. And by the way, you'll see us at the mean, monstrous, and sometimes menacing comic book shop.
Good night, everybody. Thanks for tuning in.
Later.